Alright, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Vaporware. My name's Lewis, and today we have quite a full house. We have, starting on my left...
I'm Daniel.
Wait, why do you go left and then go right?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know why that... Well, because I already introduced myself.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever. Alright, so
Lewis is always first, so...
Yeah.
And now I'm Omero.
I'm Daniel.
And, guys caught us in the middle of a conversation about the latest revealed Injustice 2 character.
Which is Hellboy.
Yeah, well, technically one of the three that was...
Hey, there's also Raiden. Aren't we all excited to play Raiden?
Who?
Yeah.
Hooray.
You know?
More Mortal Kombat characters.
Because Injustice 1 killed off one Thunder guy, so they took another good Thunder guy to go ahead and replace the now dead Thunder guy that was brain melted by Superman.
So...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But then why couldn't they just take out the Thunder guy that they revealed and put in Black Lightning? Or Static Shock?
Yeah, that would have been actually pretty good.
Premier skin.
Well, I know that they're probably like Black Lightning's going to be a skin and not its own character, which is fine, whatever, you know. But
Yeah.
damn, dude, come on.
Well, does he have his own lines and stuff, or no? Because I mean, Reverse Flash has his own lines and everything.
Yeah, if it's a Premier skin, it'll have its own lines.
Oh, yeah.
Bizarro's got all his own lines and everything else, and it's fun.
Yeah. Although when those Premier skins only have one line per character that they fight, it's not like they have like a multitude of different things that they could say. It's usually just like, oh, you're facing Aquaman. You say something like Reverse Flash, for example, will say something pertaining to Aquaman or whoever else he's fighting, which is fine, whatever. But my God, okay, Black Manta, cool, awesome.
Yeah, we kind of knew that from the gigantic headed silhouette.
Yeah.
Who else is
Stewie?
Do we know anybody
Yeah,
else's
Stewie.
head? Okay, Stewie. I was gonna say,
Eyes.
Head shaped like a football. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All this is more of a flying saucer.
I was going to go back to Raiden for a second because I don't mind Mortal Kombat characters in Injustice. We just keep getting these same characters that the pretty much
core.
the core characters.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a lot of characters with more interesting movesets and more charisma than just like let's toss out Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Raiden.
Sure,
Because,
the money makers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but which Raiden is it? Is it Christopher Lambert Raiden?
I wish it was
That would be
That
awesome.
would be cool. I hope so.
That would be so awesome.
Yeah, I wish, and I would love Kerry Tagawa Shang Tsung in there. Shang Tsung would be an interesting addition
Yeah.
to that universe because he's got a different playstyle. Goro, Kintaro, Motaro.
My personal feeling is I would love to see Kano just because of his interactions with characters because he's a wonderful jerk.
Whoa! This isn't rated M game, so you can't say this kind of stuff that Kano would want to say.
It's not?
Yeah.
So.
I
Isn't?
Yeah, T.
Is T?
Oh, it's barely tea.
Yeah.
I would assume
Yeah.
so.
Well, there's no
finisher,
fatalities
is
in it. Yeah.
Well, technically,
Oh,
they were very, very clever with Sub-Zero. If you've seen when Sub-Zero wins a fight, you see him basically walk up to the other character. So you're seeing the screen. You're seeing him walk up to the camera. You see the edges of the screen freeze, and then you hear a crunch, and then he hoists the camera up, and you hear the running of blood or whatever else. So no, they were very clever. It's a fatality.
Yeah.
Just
it
kills
is.
the cameraman.
that's
kills
pretty dark.
the cameraman.
That's pretty dark.
It's pretty dark. And
Are you
it's
sure it's
pretty-
not an animality?
It's pretty gruesome. You have to use your imagination. But I saw that and I applauded it. It's like, okay,
Well,
that's Sub-Zero's
you see-
classic fatality. Put in there in a way that still falls under this
Yeah.
rating.
It's
Wonderfully done.
It's gruesome because you have an imagination.
Yeah.
But for kids that don't have an imagination,
Yeah.
we probably don't get it.
What's the sound of running water there? Essentially.
Somebody peeing on the camera.
Somebody's bleeding to death right now, sweetie. But yeah, just.
No, the parents wouldn't tell them. Well, that's just strawberry jam.
So I guess going back to the Hellboy, I just want to know how. I'm sure there's a demand there, but I'm sure a lot of fans want Spawn in there and characters like that too.
I want to know how Hellboy beat out Spawn though.
Well, Spawn
Because-
was like in the running too, or
Yeah, Spawn was
yeah.
a lot of people were thinking, almost 90% of the people were thinking it was going to be Spawn.
Yeah.
no, he'll
Uh,
make sense too. You know,
Did he make it into another game before?
Yeah, he
or am I
was-
thinking.
He's been
Uh,
in
yeah,
a
he had his
few
own
Soul
games.
Calibur
Yeah,
2.
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur
Was that-
2,
was he ever in
Xbox
MK?
version. He was
Yeah.
never in Mortal Kombat, though.
No, he wasn't in Mortal Kombat, but
The
he
thing was-
was in. God, what else was he in? Wasn't okay. Well, he had his own like arena fighting game. And then he had something else. Spawn's been in a few things. Hellboy's never really been in much of anything, obviously,
I think the
outside of his own game.
the thing with Spawn though is that you have to deal with Todd McFarlane, and he's really
Probably picky
he's
about.
pretty conceited about his stuff, so he doesn't want
Makes sense. Yeah.
you have to. I think you have to really pay him, or you need to give him some kind of like control.
I
Yeah.
don't
the
know how
character.
Mike Mignola thinks about his property.
He's
and everything.
probably okay with the whole.
Well, yeah, he's the complete opposite. I
I'd be
think.
like, probably want to see all the movesets. I want to see what you're planning on having him say. Heck, he probably wrote a lot of his dialogue.
Yeah, he probably did.
I don't know. Like when I compare Mike Mignola to Todd McFarlane, he seems like the type of person that just is like, yeah, if you want to do something with the character, go for it. Like I don't really care.
Todd's the complete opposite.
But I think Todd McFarlane has like a lot more under his belt in terms of like his resume. Like he's obviously worked on Spawn. He's a toy line. He's drawn for Marvel and all that stuff. Mike Mignola is kind of stuck to Dark Horse and just kind of stuck to Hellboy and things within Dark Horse. Like he worked on a he has like his string of like BPRD comics and stuff like that, but that's all like within the Hellboy universe. And I'm sure he's done like I know he's like drawn other things, not really for like Marvel. Maybe I think more for like the just things within like Dark Horse. But anyway, I think that Mike Mignola doesn't really care as much as someone like Todd McFarlane would. But that's awesome. I dig it. I'm happy that we got Hellboy. I like Spawn, but I think Hellboy works.
Louis,
really well.
being the biggest Hellboy fan here at this table and everything, what do you think his super move's going to be?
Probably
Fisting
going.
someone.
Oh my god!
Did you say feasting or fisting?
Think warm thoughts.
Yeah. All right. So there's a. Oh god, that's so bad. The right hand of
And then
doom.
you use the canned.
Yeah.
They probably
Um,
have it though.
Huh?
Somewhere is a video probably somewhere.
I've only seen just the reveal of them. There's no gameplay, but I want to say that there's a couple ways they can go about it. They can go the route of he can say his name Anand Unrama and get the horns and get the fiery crown above his head, and then just do some like crazy ass move that way. Or what we were talking about yesterday, he could pull a big baby from Hellboy 2. Which was freaking awesome. It's like this huge ass pistol that shoots like it's a grenade launcher really. Yeah.
Huge ass pistol. Huh?
Well, no, but it looks like a huge pistol though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just like in Mercs.
Yeah. Or it can be I don't know. I'm sure the Samaritan's probably going to be his just like one of his standard moves and everything. But I don't know. I'd like to see him say his name and then get the double horns and then do something cool like that.
I think they're going to do something really special for him. I mean,
Yeah,
it's likely.
they can't just be like, "Oh, here's your character skin." I mean,
Yeah.
to go out of the way to bring in a character that's now part of the DC universe.
Yeah.
To
That's
spend
a
a
nice-
lot of time and money to get that particular license, I have
They're excited.
I mean,
about
it's
this.
They're going to do
rich,
something
yeah.
special.
as to what they're going to do with it.
Yeah.
He's going to be a unique. He's not any sort of premier skin, which even those they've done some amazing
I hope he
things.
fights
Oh,
through
yeah.
this tail too. I really do.
Oh yeah.
None of this. I got 2 arms. My tail's right here. And,
Or probably do like a tail swipe where he'll trip up people or something like that.
Okay, if he combos with it,
Yeah.
I'll be happy.
Combo breaker.
I'm just going to mention this real quick. I don't know if any of you have played Starfire,
Not yet.
but after
I should be able to download it, but I haven't.
after a little while playing as her, I'm like, oh my gosh, this would be great if you were to do premier skin for Carol Ferris in Star Sapphire.
Oh yeah.
It would work out so wonderfully and
Yeah.
beautifully to have that, that as a premier skin. But that's one of the things I really appreciate about this game. They've done a lot of, premier skins, just putting a new you know, putting a new skin on, giving them personality by giving them their own lines. Heck, even Bizarro, they changed his vision to ice vision and his breath to fire breath.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, these are above and beyond palette swaps, and they're doing a great job with them.
That's DLC that I don't mind buying into.
Yeah. Not at all.
That's debatable.
Yeah?
I don't know, like, you see stuff like that, it makes you wonder how long they're going to really do something like that for the game over time.
I think you have to, in perspective, because there's people that might be fans of those characters, which is, I don't care, I'll buy it because I'm a fan of that character.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the same could be said about, like, you know, games like Street Fighter or King of Fighters, you know, or...
What do you mean? I mean, Street Fighter, like, those skins are actually pretty interesting.
No, they are. I mean, I'm just saying that it's like, I don't know if somebody will go out of the way to, I mean, it's a season pass, right? But, you know, like the characters came out this season, I don't think half the people that bought the pass would have wanted half those characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much was the pass anyway?
That was $30, I think.
$30 he was.
Abigail's worth that by himself.
Well, for some people, that's how it is.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
No, I mean, at least they give you the ability to, you know, I don't play online, so I just boot up my system every week and grab their, you know, 5,000 fight money. And sadly, that's pretty much all Street Fighter V has been doing for me until they get an arcade mode in there. But, you know, it has allowed me to purchase all of the characters up until this point, although I'm saving some to see what they get. The last two characters are, well, we know Minot now, Rose's Apprentice. What did you guys think of her? I'm going to just tangent out.
No, Minot,
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We'll see what she's
I don't know, I have, like, zero interest in the characters for Street Fighter V, at least all the new
The
ones.
thing is like, you know, I feel like with some of the new characters that they're making, they're catering more to the Japanese crowd or the Japanese fans,
Well,
which
that's
I understand
surprising.
because you know they're from Japan, right?
Yeah.
But like when they had Street Fighter 2 come out, it's like those were world warriors. You know, they were all designed to look like fighters.
Yes, from different countries and awesomely stereotypical.
I will
We
say-
need more
Yeah, I know they're
stereotypes.
stereotypical, but you know what I'm saying, though, right? There's like, or even in Alpha, there's like a lot of them are fighters. You know.
I like the designs of Street Fighter V of new characters a ton better than I did the Street Fighter 4
Yeah.
characters. I mean,
Well,
I
yeah,
know
like
Daniel was
Rufus,
saying he didn't like too many of them, but Daniel, what did you think of Fong's design?
Is that Fong or are you talking about Fang?
Fang, Fong, I mean, really.
Is he Vietnamese or not?
No, here's the thing, it's actually initials for something,
Yeah.
and that's the thing I don't understand.
Well,
They could have just called it
when
Fong.
I first saw his character, I was like, okay, it's kind of interesting how he has like an old school like Korean like get up. Like
the character.
well, let me finish. The character itself actually looks. I really just said, what the fuck are they thinking? The instant they showed gameplay of it, I was like, this is stupid as fuck.
He looked like
I liked it personally.
Yeah, when I first saw the
Head shape is
character,
really weird.
he looked like he came from a Z-grade anime.
Or Guilty Gear or something like that.
Personally.
Because Guilty Gear or Blaze Blue, all the like the actual enemy fighter games, they're all based on they're not based on actual fighting techniques. And that's why I feel like this character is pretty much that. It's just like here's just throw a character in with some shit.
And Dan was right. I kind of you know don't like how Capcom is just like you know getting what's you know the flavor of the month in terms of character designs. Like when Third Strike came out, I felt like Remy was too much reminiscent of a King of Fighters
He was.
thing. And then for me, it was just like
And Crimson Viper, too.
Crimson Viper too.
Oh, her, yeah.
And stuff like that.
And Abel was just kind of bad.
Actually, no, Abel was actually
He
one of the
looked-
better ones.
Yeah,
Because
he-
he doesn't.
He was very uninteresting to me.
Not even.
Well,
He actually has the MMA background. Like
Yeah,
I was
he
supposed to
did,
see
like-
him fight. I mean, he's an actual
He
fighter.
looked like a fighter.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, granted, his stupid clone crap with his
Oh
eyes.
yeah, I mean, he
whatever.
doesn't have a personality, and I
Yeah.
agree with you on that one. That looks
But
prefers a
the character, like just from aesthetics, when you look at it, like this guy can probably kick your ass. As opposed to like Junie, who's like, who the hell? She's not even really doing Taekwondo, and she's
I know.
Korean.
And
Well, she's supposed to be. I'm
But-
sorry.
She's
You
has
know who likes
personality,
that design?
and that's one of the things that.
well,
Right,
yeah.
how
So I
about
mean,
X-rated?
it's like the original World Warriors didn't have personality.
They didn't actually because you couldn't.
Blanca did. Remember, punch him and his eyes pop out.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
That's
I don't know what that really means personality.
I guess
That's the closest thing we got.
That's a bad
It was 16-bit. All right.
Well, that's actually the point right there. It's like, you know, it was really hard to portray personality back in the day.
the thing
You
is,
can't really do it that much, especially with sprites, and then only to maybe see it in the ending.
Little bits of dialogue.
Yeah, and even then,
I'm the
that's not even.
strongest woman in the world. Okay.
well, like you know, now you mentioned that. Like, look at someone like Chun Li, who has the traditional Chinese garb for a woman. But she's also wearing wrestling boots, and she has the gauntlets.
Yeah, she's actually.
So she looks like, okay, she's going to kick someone's ass. You know, she's ready for fighting.
Right.
Now the characters, you know, are like, well, other than Abel, but there are other ones, you know, they're just like, they look like they're going, you know, out to a dance or something, or out to dinner, or like, you know, to like a social event. You know, they don't
Not
look
all
like
of
they're
them.
going,
Like who?
Not all of them are like Abel. There's different characters, and I'm going to go ahead and say. I'm going to go back to Fong. I'm going to go back to Fong for a second because there are characters in old kung fu films and everything very much like him. He is one of those characters that is dressed in a way that helps him with his fighting style. That he is an unexpected, sneaky character using poisons and things like that. So I feel as though for his character, his overall look works very well. Whereas for Abel, he's very direct. You know, about he's here to fight, he's here to kick your ass. Fong, not as much. Fong wants to lure you into a sense of security. Oh, I can't do anything.
How
And
do you
then
do that in a
has
fight?
poison up the sleeves.
I guess so. I mean, but
You know.
But see, the other thing though, like, I like how you bring up that. I mean, from what I've seen at least from what I've seen his gameplay, none of it really looks like it's kung fu, and I can't tell if it's supposed to be kung fu or not. Especially when I see him flying. And I mean, that's kind of. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a real kung fu like Gen. Gen was cool. That's actually like real shit. But he's like, you know, how do you have a guy that looks like Gen and doesn't really fight like that? You know, it doesn't really, you know, his look doesn't really match his fighting style, I should say. Then again, he's probably part of Shadow Lu and then giving his own Mount Rushmore thing for no reason.
But the thing is, like, you know, when you have a game called Street Fighter, you know, I don't know. It's just like, for example, we're talking about Crimson Viper, who, you know, it's almost like a King of Fighters, you know, style of character. But you know, she also wears those gloves, and I think those gloves make a difference on her design. You know, whatever,
ones?
you know, MMA gloves or whatever she's wearing or something like that.
Sort of, but she's
If
more.
she didn't have those gloves, you'd be like, oh, she looks like an operative or you know, an executive, you know.
Well, that's what's funny. That's kind of what she is, though. She is like she's pretty much like a bruiser of some sort. But all her powers are just based on her.
Look at Cammy. She has those freaking huge ass gauntlets, and then like I just feel like every
They are practical.
Well, I mean, point is, you know, they look like you know, like she's ready to fight, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the newer character designs, it's just, I don't know. They look too anime for me. I don't know.
Oh, I see. Exactly.
I can get behind the whole anime thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the direction that new fans like, you know, okay, that's cool, you know. I mean, like, for example, like, you get Sagat, someone like Sagat, and someone like, name a new character that they developed. I don't know.
From Street Fighter 4, for instance.
Street Fighter 4 or 5.
Still, Junie is like one of the ones that I hate the most.
Or like get someone like Abel
Junie.
or get someone like Abigail and put Sagat next to him. Sagat looks like he's ready to kick someone's ass.
Yeah.
You know?
Abigail looks very, very comical overall.
Yeah.
And yes, ever since Street Fighter 4, for some reason, the designers aesthetically have gone much more comical with it. And somebody there at Capcom has decided, it was always meant to be comical and everything. And I'm like,
I'll give him that with Blanca, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. The aesthetic style, and for the most part, Blanca was still scary.
Yeah, you're right.
The part of Blanca that was funny is that his animations when he's retreating, he looks, very
cowering beast.
like cowering beast, and you hit him and his eyes pop out and things like that, and that's part of the character. But these were not, as much of caricatures. I mean, they're caricatures, yeah, but they weren't as comedic. They weren't intended to be, these cartoony characters that they made them out to be since 4 and 5. There is a little bit of realism in the Street Fighter world, and somebody thought, oh, there isn't any realism. So
Yeah, well, when they made
Or
Street Fighter
less.
4, that's pretty much what it.
yeah.
When they introduced Rufus and El Fuerte, I was just like,
Yep. No.
yeah.
No Fuerte.
And I
It's
know,
worse that they made Rufus a good character.
yeah.
Yep. And everybody played him if they were wanting to be.
And I think what some fans will argue is that, well, a character like Dan is supposed to be comedic, and I don't think so. I think he fits really well.
Pretty tragic, to be honest.
He's pretty tragic, that he's full of himself, and
He's the joke.
sure,
nobody
sure,
gets, everybody
it's
gets
funny he
except
was,
for him.
but in context, he's not supposed to be funny. He's not supposed to be this cartoon character.
He's a joke from the outside.
Yeah.
In the world, he doesn't get it.
Mhm.
You know. Yeah.
Blanca and Sakura sure do.
Yeah. No, within the world, even Sagat looks at Dan as like, oh, I pity you, man.
Pretty much, I think so. But I guess it started with Rufus. I mean, and like, it was intentional design.
Yeah.
It was intentionally.
Let's just be ironic and make him
Yeah.
fat, but also fast. And he reminds me of White Goodman from Dodgeball after he
Oh,
gets
yeah.
fat at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's who
They
Rufus
just wanted to
always
show
reminds
off
me
their jiggle mechanics. I can think of two better ways to show off big fat guy. Okay.
Did our live do that already, or?
Yeah, they did. But Street Fighter didn't do it, and somebody thought it'd be cool. Hey, instead of a chick, how about this? A big fat guy that flies through the air like he's a tiny little guy. Beautiful. Let's do it. Go Capcom.
It spins around like a ballerina and all sorts of things.
Yeah,
Oh,
but see,
man.
that's where I'm talking about the humor part. It's just like, come on, it's like
We can't.
a big
Try
guy
to
like
get
that
hard.
can't be moving around like that. So
Trying to. It worked.
If he
It
was
worked for
charis-
Tekken.
If
It
he
worked
was
for Tekken.
charismatic, I would totally go with it, but he's not.
Well, it worked for Tekken
Don't
with
care about
with Bob. I'm not sure which character was made first, but in Tekken, Bob's their resident fat character. But it works because he's supposed to be really skinny, but he gets fat because he wants to get like a shit ton of muscle. And so when he fights, he says, I don't want to be skinny. I don't want to be skinny. I don't want to be skinny. So he keeps eating and everything like that because he wants that muscle.
Right.
Whereas Rufus is just freaking White Goodman in a Bruce Lee jumpsuit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think for me, the
You know
only
what?
fact-
You know what it kind of reminds you of?
Mhm.
It kind of reminds you of Sodom, where he's just supposed to be like, because he's into the Bruce Lee look, he's into the kung fu
Yeah.
stuff. He's actually like a joke about it,
Yeah.
but he's good with it rather. But then Sodom is like the guy. He's like a super weeb.
Yes.
Yeah, Weebo, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Which is
Talk about a charismatic
hilarious.
character, though. That's
Yeah.
like.
I'm super surprised he's not even in the game. He
Yeah,
should be in
he
5.
should be in Street Fighter 5.
Like he's actually interesting. It's not. You got 8 Abigail's like, oh my god, it's like.
Hey. I'll have
Well,
enough of your Abigail.
I have.
action, sir.
Once
Okay.
he gets a normal
I have
mouth,
only
maybe.
2 issues with
His
that.
body size,
Yeah,
I've
that's
got
one.
the issue with.
It's not even the body stuff I'm worried about. It's just that the art style's just stupid. It's just like, why do you even think about doing it that way?
Well, that's kind of the.
That guy, other than that, it's like it's cool having a big character. I mean, Hugo
Yeah.
used to be was a guy back then.
Making him another mental midget with the, what do you call it, and everything. I don't know how I am on it. One part of me is like, that's kind of funny, he's stupid. And another part of me is like, you know what, really, when Abigail came out to fight you in Final Fight, and if you understood what was coming, you were a bit scared because even, the way to beat him usually is to use that Z-axis and do that, but it wouldn't work all the time because he's quick, he's strong, he will grab you, he will turn red, he will hit you really hard, and he's, I'm sure Capcom made a lot of money and a lot of quarters off of that character. It was a killer. And, that's one thing I do like about currently, he's one character that's, I guess they say he's kind of OP and everything. And it's like, yes, you should be afraid of Abigail because that's the nature of the character when you first dealt with him.
And you make a good point though, because I always felt that Hugo was more of a humorous character, and I think they should have gone the opposite with Abigail. I think they should have been like, holy crap, dude! It's like, not only is this guy huge, but he really means it.
He's a monster, and I don't know necessarily what you would do with his relation to the Mad Gear gang.
Both Abigail and Hugo are kind of not mentally all there. I mean,
Yeah, it's like, I agree with that. They kind of did that already with Hugo. Hugo's pretty much a nice guy and kind of just really whatever.
I love the part that we're in Third Strike, and I think all of the Street Fighter or Second Impact, Double Impact too. That he has Hugo standing there, and he has birds sitting on his shoulders and on his head before he starts a match.
Yeah.
It kind of gives you the idea that this guy is totally not evil.
Yeah, he's a
He's a gentle giant. He is.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so.
But he
With
happens to
Abigail
work
turning red. and
How's he not
really
evil? He's
crazy.
fucking part of Mad Gear.
Well,
It was before. It was all before
No,
this
I think
NWO
it's
crap.
pretty
You don't
clear
understand,
that
for him-
Poison enlisted him.
For him, it's just a job. It's like, oh, we need you to beat up these people. Oh, okay, I get to wrestle? Okay.
He kind of reminds me of
He's too innocent.
What's
He
his
gets
name from,
pulled into things.
from The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Which makes a whole hell of a lot of sense when you think about it.
Well, his name was in the game in Final Fight was Andore, which essentially.
Well,
is,
I know that,
Yeah.
but like I'm talking about like the character from Princess Bride. And everything.
Oh, that
Played by
version of Andre
Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
Obviously, the character of Hugo or Andre was a direct, reference to, Andre the Giant and everything back in the day. I mean, they did that a lot.
Yeah.
Mike Bison, anybody?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're all rip-offs. I mean,
Yeah.
especially the Saturday Slam Masters.
Yeah.
All the characters there.
You know
Dude,
what?
out of all the
Yeah.
ripoffs, though, I sort of prefer the one from the one
That's-
you guys were playing.
That's kind of what I saw. I saw
Robert Turf.
Abigail. I saw
What?
Abigail
Oh, yeah, right,
was
yeah.
the serious mode version of Hugo, and now we've kind of like pulled back from that with the way Capcom's done it.
Yeah.
They could have
That
just
upsets me.
redone Hugo again.
Yeah, they could have, but I
I would have been okay with that.
like Abigail. I like in general his moveset since it's so easy to use and kills your opponent stupid quick. But yeah.
So it sounds like he liked the handicap that it gives.
I do. Oh my gosh, it's like you barely have to try, and the other guy's already dead by the time you're.
Sounds like Bayonetta.
It's almost a little boring, but whatever.
Look at this.
Good character choice. Two things that just don't quite sit so well, but yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, I think moving forward from Street Fighter V, Street Fighter's just kind of dead. I'm pretty sure.
Is it?
I think. I mean, sure.
I don't think in the fighting game community, but in the general populace,
I think it's gonna be like in the community eventually.
Darkstalkers is pretty well dead.
It's fucking what it
I wish
calls
it
to take it
wasn't.
over. Is Dragon Ball's gonna change the game.
well,
I believe it would be great.
I'll believe it. Well, wait. No, I'll see it when I believe it.
Yes.
No, I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah.
no, you said it right
No,
the
you
first
said
time.
it right.
You said it right the
Recto
first time.
Yeah.
That's how I say it now.
I see it when I believe it. I'm not saying that. I'm sure the Dragon Ball game is going to be great, but let's get real. It's just a trailer right now.
Well, no, they already had put gameplay and people playing it. It's already getting
Well, I mean,
people's attention now.
and I'm not saying this if not, but I'm going to hold my breath on that one.
I gotta say,
I'm not considering that it has a really strong IP, and no one's really now like Street Fighter's not even as interesting anymore. I don't even give a
International IP too.
that too. I mean,
Oh yeah, a lot of Brazilians like it.
Brazilians,
Mexicans.
Chinese, Japanese, all of South America.
Oh yeah, pretty much
I'll
all
say
South
this.
American, Central
the
American.
game looks fun. It doesn't look like I don't look at it and say, "Oh my gosh, this is so complicated. This looks like it's going to be work to play this game."
that's why it's going to be good. I mean, people want that Marvel vs. Capcom 2 feel again, and they didn't have one number 3, so they want to go back to the old school tag team mode like that.
Well, it looks hard to follow.
The 3-on-3 sounds amazing.
Well, that,
The real
that's pretty much an
thing.
episode
Yeah.
of Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
that was
That's
like-
kind of
yeah.
accurate.
At least in the episodes, you get little breaks here and there.
In the
Rest your eyes.
A whole season or so.
Yeah.
Break where
Yeah, just charging. But this is just like
charge now.
You're trying to follow the video, and your eyes are everywhere. And you're like, what was that a block? No, I don't know. Maybe. Sure.
That might be the only real problem, probably. It's just hard to watch
You're
and
getting used
hard
to
to
it.
how to understand.
Yeah,
Well,
I
of
guess
course,
It's very flashy,
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
but damn to look good.
it does
It does.
look really good.
Really.
But I think that might just push it over the edge.
Was
Because
this
Street Fighter has or Capcom at that point, if it takes off, Capcom has to fucking suit up and do it way better now.
Well, MVCI is gonna try to compete.
They ain't going nowhere with that shit.
I mean,
Yeah, it started running, and it's like starting to skin on and fell and
No, what's
skidding
Dragon
on
Ball
its face to the starting line.
Well,
Once Dragon Ball Z got announced,
Yeah,
I was like, wait
for
a
me,
minute.
it's like MCBI is like when they start including the moment they start including comic book characters in there, I'll be interested.
yeah.
But they're not.
Instead of Marvel movie characters.
Yeah, they're just MCU characters.
And that's what we were kind of talking about last week was like it's just there's something about the game that I like. When I saw the story trailer, it looked really like it looked cool, but it looks kind of like forced at the same time when Iron Man.
It's just
is-
a commercial.
Oh, like there's
Like
a forced
talk-
fan service feel.
Well, yeah, forced fan service.
Right.
Like,
I feel that.
like they were talking to Dr. Light, and I'm like, okay, I wanted to like that.
Why are they talking to him? Isn't X only in the game, not?
Well, yeah,
And that's why Lewis is trying to like it.
Well,
That's
because
kinda-
he's smart and he's dead and he's a hologram, so you got to talk to him.
I guess.
Yeah,
Should have brought in Kane instead.
Yeah, they're
It's
talking
relevant.
to. I don't know, like it's just forced fan service. And there you go.
Yeah.
Like it just. What was it? Like the symbiotes are taking over the monsters from Monster Hunter, which I love Monster Hunter, as you guys all know, but like still, oh man. And then what else was there? Jeddah was cool. Jeddah seems
Jeddah
like
was good.
he's gonna be like a really fun villain.
Jeddah and X are
But,
like the things
explain,
I'm looking forward to.
explain for kids that were born in 1999 who Jeddah is and where he comes from.
Oh, okay. If you don't know who Jeddah is, first of all, shame on you.
Yeah, and that's the end of that.
I mean, I don't know who he is.
Second of all, he's one of the biggest bosses, characters
Next to
of
Byron.
He
next
is
to
the
Pyron.
vampire savior.
Yeah, he's the vampire savior.
What's the
He-
vampire savior? I
He
never heard of this game
constantly
before.
tries to. He's trying to basically end the world so he can restart it over with a giant demon baby thing that's ugly as hell. But now he's
Darkstalkers?
now
Wait,
now he's decided I can totally do that again, but I can just stick symbiotes on monsters from Monster Hunter, and I can take over the world. And then Ghost Rider says to him, "Oh, you're going to feel the pain of all these people that go through all this crap," and he's like, "I will savor it," because Jeddah is a crazy son of a bitch.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that's very charismatic about him, because
His laugh.
the things that a normal person would go through, or a normal megalomaniac and everything, he just laughs it off because he's just nuts.
So there's going to be more Darkstalkers characters?
We don't know. We
Because
don't
I'm
even know if there's going to be more characters.
Oh man, love that! I love the song, the outro for that cartoon.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's called Trouble
Dumb
Man.
shit.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Anyway, about Jeddah, also I originally thought he was kind of a vampire Grim Reaper character, but he's actually like a blood demon. So they toned down his blood though, because it's not red anymore.
He
He
used
has
to-
purple blood here, so it just looks like ooze of some kind, so that kids don't get scared.
His special attack. One of his special attacks is he has like a. He like
All
gets
combat's out,
this
and kids
giant
get
arm
scared.
made of blood, and he like slams you against the ground, and then he like
Capcom.
stamps you onto this giant, onto the scroll. But yeah, it's right. It's not blood anymore. It's just like
It's blood contract.
dark. Yeah, it's like dark purple or whatever.
Yeah, no. And
So-
I don't know if he still has that move. I hope so. He
Yeah.
probably does. He probably does.
He does. I saw it.
Oh, really?
I saw the just like a screenshot of
So I
it.
assume Morgan's going to be in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully the Dreamcast version.
It's gonna be like the old sprite or what? It's gonna be the only sprite they have, right?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, that's
the
what I
only
want.
one with her original
They did that
sprites.
for a while. Huh?
Yeah, they went-
original
Yeah,
sprites.
Up to,
that's
up
just so
to-
lazy. You
Up to, it went up to Capcom Fighting Gym. Is how far they went with that.
Yeah,
That-
that was
I
right.
just
She
don't
looked
understand, it's like-
awful. You're like, what?
It was such a popular character, and they could invest in making a new sprite for her.
I think it was just like the novelty at that point.
Well, at that point,
But you're right that shit at least fix it or something. There's always because she was standing still and you can see the border where she hangs out like her sprite. And like one corner of it, you see like a little sprite just sitting there for no reason, like
my
part of the tent. Like, dude, what did you
it
do?
was so bad.
You guys
that
could even do it right the first time.
It almost looked like hate.
What kind of crap
By
is this?
comparison, yeah.
Yeah, by
That was
comparison to
terrible.
all the other stuff there, yeah.
She's usually a mainstay. She's always back.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, Donovan
I
though.
think we can all agree
I
that
don't.
pushing Marvel movie characters more in our face is just kind of upsetting, and we just
It is.
You know what? I actually that's why I like the Marvel's Capcom too, because you see all these new Marvel characters that you didn't even heard of.
Yeah.
There's
Arrow.
something special about
Spiral.
all these games from the beginning is they
Sumikora.
pull out
Yeah.
those characters that you don't expect. And a lot of times, I mean, us being Marvel fans, of course, during the 90s watching all those shows, there was always some character that made us go,
Well, I feel like the equivalent of of that kind of like, what the hell? Why would they put this character in there for MVCI? Is going to be Howard the Duck. It's going to be like, oh, they put Howard the Duck in here.
I hope. I mean,
Number 3, every one of the Marvel characters had a movie.
Yeah.
It's like almost by design. So whatever's going to put in here.
Wait, did
like,
they?
Except for MODOK.
Yeah.
Get MODOK.
That's different.
Like everyone had.
MODOK needs him designed over for only for
Like you said,
kids.
this one, the new one, everyone's going to be in the movie.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
even
that's why
they
MODOK's
planned-
not playable. He's just a background.
They
Even
planned
Captain
out.
Marvel's gonna
They
have.
definitely planned out ahead, and they're going to like, okay, so
But it-
Captain Marvel's going to be in it.
But that's
Oh,
so cheesy.
yeah.
It's like
Rocket Raccoon, when he was first revealed, was like, holy crap. And then you realize, oh, they are working on a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I mean,
and it just feels like a game made by committee.
yeah.
You know, there's no heart to it.
To promote
It's a
their,
who said that? It's a spreadsheet game.
oh, that's Eve. Eve.
Oh yeah.
But are you talking about? But I think
It's a spreadsheet because the people that develop it, or the people that are spending money on it to develop it, they're looking at a spreadsheet. It's like, okay, well, this is how much money we'll make, you know,
Sure.
at this time of the year, and yada yada.
Instead of just going off of the fan base.
Yeah.
Because
So
there's literally no mutants, is there?
hell no, man. Huh. Dude, you know what happened?
There's Inhumans.
The Friends of Humanity got to them, dude.
there you go.
They're
They
like,
won. They actually won.
They're hashtag no mutants. They're anti-mutites.
Anti-mutant.
But I'm gonna bet that you're gonna have some DLC with some upcoming Inhumans.
Yep.
Who's excited for the new Inhumans show coming
Inhumans?
up?
What?
Yeah. Come on, man. Don't you remember when they were in the Fantastic
We
Four?
were just,
There were people that were like born ugly, so they had powers and stuff, but they're totally not X-Men.
dude, we were talking about this the other day. It's like I saw the trailer for the Inhumans. All the characters and actors in there look like they don't even want to be in it.
No. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Every thumbnail that I see is just them, just like with a straight look on their face, and they all look like they're just
Everyone's
like
just bored.
very
Dude, they're
bored.
just like, I'm here for a
very
paycheck.
bored. Lockjaw looks the most interesting.
The dog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like you look at it and it's just like, oh, this looks kind of lame.
I'm gonna go see it in a movie theater for free.
I don't know. I'm just burnt out on Marvel.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of like, I'm almost kind of dreading it, actually. It's kind of unfortunate, because I remember those characters as they appeared in the 90s Fantastic Four series.
Fantastic Four.
And I was I was not excited to see them then. I mean, they seemed outdated, of course, for the 90s. They probably seemed outdated when they came out in the 60s.
Yeah.
They look kind of awful. They're not charismatic.
Well, so it's
My hair can grab you. That's my superpower.
Oh god! And see, like I hate it when people insult the Fantastic Four, because I want to just be like, all right, if you don't like the Fantastic Four, then you're really not gonna like the fucking, or I was gonna say the Imperfects, based off of that dumb like, was it Marvel versus the Imperfects
What?
game that came out like a long ass time ago?
It sounds mildly familiar.
No,
it
yeah,
does sound familiar.
yeah. You guys, it was a fighting game, and it was just like a bunch of like different like weird, not mutants, but like just like weird.
Not muties.
No, racist motherfucker.
They're not a race.
They're
muties.
No, but anyways, yeah, I don't know. It's just their designs are whack. I still like the Fantastic Four because of the family dynamic, but like with the Imperfects, fuck, I keep on saying that from the not the Imperfects, Inhumans. Yeah, it's, I don't know.
You know what DC needs to do for at least Injustice is put the Terrific Trio from Batman Beyond. If you guys don't, you guys don't even watch Batman Beyond, do you?
Which one were the Terrific Trio?
Well, Fantastic Four of DC in the future.
Oh, okay.
Except they're actual assholes and bad guys because they
But
really don't want to die.
They're not fantastic. They're terrific.
Yeah,
Oh,
the things, the
yeah.
giant lava dude. I forgot. Where's Fantastic? Someone else, but there's only 3 of them this time. I think there's no Invisible Woman. I think.
Yeah, that's pretty much just
The episode's really good too. Man. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
for the record, you could do the whole freaking Adventure Brothers Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be awesome.
Ned the Human Callus.
What the
He was just a giant scab.
I cream.
Yeah, for anyone that hasn't seen it, yeah, that episode's amazing.
So, if you don't mind, I want to switch gears here.
Go ahead.
And so, this year is the 30th anniversary of Dirty Dancing, Princess Bride, Full Metal Jacket, Lost Boys, Predator, Masters of the Universe, Hellraiser, RoboCop,
Really?
Uh,
Lost Boys.
Spaceballs. Let's see, Monster Squad, Lethal Weapon. Let's see, garbage pillowcase. Let's
Wrong with them?
The
I saw
Running
that in
Man.
theaters.
The Running Man.
Before they pulled it.
Evil Dead 2.
Ooh, Running Man.
Running Man's
What's
cool.
called?
Yeah.
3 Men and a Baby, Mannequin, Beverly Hills Cop 2, Over the Top.
So you're telling me everything got made in '87?
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Good Morning Vietnam. Harry and the Hendersons, Dragnet.
Dragnet.
Yeah.
Taking people against good and niceness.
Prince of Darkness.
Are you trying to imply that that was like the best time when everything came out?
I'm trying to say that
It was
a
a
lot of
good
good
year.
movies came out that year. I'm surprised.
So you're saying
Batteries not included.
86 was a good year for
Yep.
production.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 86 is a good year for production. Yeah. Yeah. So, how about that, huh?
Awesome.
Good gravy.
So now what?
That's good.
Go back in time.
Let's
Yeah.
go back in
I
time.
know, right?
When the movies were better.
Let's go back
What?
in time. Yeah.
No, I mean,
You mean when
there
there
are
were
good, there
remakes?
are good movies, but
There's what? Good? Are you
Oh wait,
serious?
out of that whole list, was there any sequels or reboots?
Yeah. No.
Dragnet
reboots.
was a reboot.
Oh well, but like Evil Dead, Jaws, I think 3 was in there. Teen Wolf 2.
yeah.
Oh,
There's
that-
some.
So the sequels were not that good.
No.
Um,
That was what we were used to, bad sequels.
yeah. So I don't know. That's just crazy that Death Wish 4 came out that year too.
There we go.
Revenge of the Nerds 2.
Oh, Resident 2 is great.
Yeah.
That's the one that goes to the beach, right?
Yeah, and they get they bogart and they find the military surplus in that island.
And Ogre becomes a nerd.
Yeah.
Because he's different also.
Freaking- Oh, at the very end too. They had to make him look like one. I didn't like that part. It was like, really, guys, come on.
What is
Why doesn't that
Born in
cast
East
show up?
LA came out that movie.
Wait, what was that, Lewis?
Why doesn't that cast show up in The Big Bang Theory? The Revenge of the Nerd cast.
Because they're too real, man.
And they're
Yeah,
They're
real actual nerds.
They're too real. You know,
They're real.
it cuts too deep for some of the people. I was like, fuck.
Can't have that.
Yeah, no, I can't. Nah, man, you gotta
They have
have
to have like
bazingas and
super.
shit.
They have like super.
You know,
girlfriends
I didn't
and-
realize that Booker actually has a biography out. It came out this year. I
Yeah.
think.
About him or about
About
the
him.
character?
I think he was.
Well, no, not about Booker, about
Oh.
like the actor.
My life as Booger.
I hope he goes in detail about American Dad. Because that's like his best role right now.
Oh man.
Which he just plays himself, and his name's Snot.
Seriously?
Yeah, dude, I don't know why.
A younger version.
You gotta, if you haven't seen American Dad, that's probably like the best thing that Seth MacFarlane actually ever made, to be honest. Because it's actually a story-driven comedy instead of side gags.
Yeah, that's good. I like those.
So when you have like characters like, they did a good job because they have characters. It's the first time I actually felt like I actually liked the mom as a character, and that's really hard for me to like moms because it's like, they're all try too hard. This one's actually pretty funny, and I thought Lois was kind of alright. Fucking Francine's like the funniest one. Roger's like the best character in the world. He's pretty much every character.
Really?
Yeah, because he's an alien. He doesn't have to act like a human. He's not a human. He acts like an asshole.
It's like Third Rock from the Sun.
Yeah, and he's also a self-proclaimed gay, or he's bi. And he hits on everybody and everything.
Why am I thinking of? I thought American Dad was like a real like sitcom with like real people on.
The cartoon. Dude.
Yeah, no,
A lot of people give a shit because they see the first like maybe 2 seasons and it was really political when it shouldn't have been.
I see the whole Family Guy thing, and that's what just kind of drove me away. Not to say that Family Guy is a bad show or anything.
Dude, Family Guy.
Just watch.
I'm gonna say it this way.
Just watch the episode of South Park.
No, it's not even that, dude. If you're saying you don't like Family Guy, you never liked Looney Tunes. That's what I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much exactly what it is.
Dude, God forbid Looney Tunes show up on TV. They'll censor the shit out of
Yeah.
it, dude.
But like, this is the closest thing we got to Family Guy, and it's pretty fucking fucked up humor.
Their latest show was pretty good.
Which one?
The Looney Tunes show, where like they're
the adult, that was hella funny, man. Davey said,
Daffy and Bugs are like roommates, and they live in like a house.
Yeah, it's a fucking
Okay,
funny
I
show.
see
Dude.
that.
It's like
good.
a lot of like undertone, a lot of like
It's like watching Seinfeld.
Yeah, it's like very like.
Oh, is it with the new Looney Tunes
Yeah, it's
cartoon?
a kid's show, but
I've
there's a lot of
seen
adult
some.
stuff in there.
Yeah,
I've seen some. It actually is pretty
It
good.
is
But
good.
But Daffy, dude, is like, he's like, if you thought he was an asshole to begin with, now he's even worse. He is worse. Like, because they're kind of being themselves. They're like, because you're still telling like actors. but he just takes that persona to a whole new level. He's an actual asshole now. Think of him as George, pretty much. That's what Buddy was, dude.
Yeah,
That thing caught me off guard. It was a good show.
that way.
Speedy Gonzalez is like the random roommate too. Sometimes he comes in and shows up.
He lives in the same house.
I think he's a neighbor. My bad.
Yeah, there's neighbors too.
Yeah.
All right, I got you.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. The humor in it's just like what.
And it's better too if you understand the previous Looney Tunes because you understand the characters a lot, and then if you watch this, you understand a lot more because you know their history this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Instead of just being first eyes. Man, those Looney Tunes.
I want to watch that now. It should be like on Netflix somewhere.
Probably is.
Is it still going?
I'm pretty sure it's I don't think so.
No, I think it's gone.
Yeah, it was on Cartoon Network for a bit.
So.
It couldn't survive against the wave of all these new cartoons now that are really out of place. Or I'm just too old for it, I guess.
Well, I think the one I really appreciate a lot.
Wait, what?
The one I really appreciate, I think, is Ben 10, right?
The original Ben 10?
Is that the one where he actually grows up throughout the series?
Yeah, he grew up later on, I think. But I don't know. And then after that, it stopped. And then there was a new series where he's more animated looking.
Oh, well, I mean,
but it had progression, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, that's what I liked about it. I was like, finally.
That's not a reboot.
But,
reboot.
Yeah.
Venture Brothers had progression.
Mm-hmm. Beast Wars.
Beast Wars? How come Transformers, since we got two Ultra Transformer fans here, why is it Beast Wars now, sought after? I know why Generation 1 is sought after right now. Because a lot of us grew up with it.
It hit a lot more people, yeah.
Yeah, but Beast Wars, come on, dude. That has fantastic storytelling.
But animals.
It was really
But animals.
people. Yeah.
but animals don't sell as well as vehicles.
You can't drive an animal.
They did some really
some cool animals.
nice.
What are you talking about?
You can't push around a gorilla on the table.
Oh, yeah.
Later on, they made that Optimal Optimus, and yes, you could push
Okay, maybe that one.
Oh, yeah.
And what about Tarantulas, too?
Tarantulas,
Yeah.
It turned into a bike.
Turned into a bike.
Hated over
Great
here.
toys.
See, they had to do that.
Even a
They had to turn them
Decepticon.
into vehicles to make them,
But
So-
okay, but
It worked. They did sell better.
But
at
presently,
the question at hand, why is it that Beast Wars was up there? I think so. I think for the '90s it was a
I
really
got
good
this.
cartoon.
I got this.
Okay,
It
go
has
for
a
it.
very strong fan following even right now, to the point where they had this vote last year to say who is the next Prime after Optimus Prime, Rodimus Prime.
Was it
So the
Leo?
next one, all the choices that they had, there were a lot of great contenders and everything, and then there was Optimus Primal, who won because a lot of Beast Wars fans are just all over the internet and spammed his vote.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Hold on. You
Oh,
don't like Optimus Prime?
here we
Well,
go.
Optimus Primal is the next. Well, he's Optimus Prime Light. If you fund them, I want them functional.
That's just
Okay?
Prime.
Yeah.
that's
He really is. Optimus Primal's. As for being a leader, he's a starship captain.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. He is just a captain. He was marooned
But they're
on
also
a planet.
But they're also so far removed from their first generation, right?
Right.
So I mean, their society evolves to the point where, we don't have to deal with war anymore. We're all softies now.
There's a mess of elders, of course, on Cybertron, which are supposedly like Leo Convoy and all those other guys. But he's
But see,
a captain.
that's the Japanese one though. We're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about strictly Beast Wars.
But see, you're taking it in context of the universe and the story.
Anyway,
I'm
fans,
talking about
Toys.
narrative in
toys
in-
and narratives.
yeah.
Okay, so the fans love that show. They love that show, and they've made some wonderful products based on that show in the last few years.
Those Canadians, man, they know what they're doing.
They,
made
when
a
they
brand
made
new-
a fantastic, brand new
Rat Trap.
Rhinox, Rat Trap, and Waspinator, and a couple of the other guys. You know what happens? Everyone's, chomping at the bit to get these things, and then they come out to the stores, and the first two that show up on shelves, they're bought immediately, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And then every other one that comes out after that sits on the shelf. Because for some weird reason or another, even though it's a wonderful update of the character, nobody buys it. Fans will vote on this stuff over and over and over again, and always vote Beast Wars because they love it. But it seems
So
that
they don't show
people
up to
don't
buy
come
it.
out to the woodwork, to buy this stuff.
It's like
Kids don't buy it.
it's like
It isn't just the kids. There's still a lot of fans that are like,
Yeah.
it's like you guys like Beast Wars, but how many Beast Wars toys have you bought in the last 5 years?
None.
I never bought any because I didn't want to buy any. I was like, the only
I think
one
that's what it is.
the only one I wanted to buy, honestly was probably the upgraded Megatron, the Dragon one. That shit was legit.
Nope.
But other
I
than
like
that-
the Transmetal
but-
one first
yeah.
better.
But other than that, I didn't really care about buying them because I didn't care about buying Transformers to begin with. The
Same
original
here. I
ones.
don't care to buy the.
And that's why Beast Wars will never work.
What do you mean it'll never work? Because it actually,
Nobody buys the toys.
well, it doesn't matter about the toys. If you
But-
had an actual
but-
storyline, at this day and age, people are smart enough to understand that storyline.
What you're trying to say is
more
it won't
confident.
work right now as a marketing, as,
Correct.
something
It
to
won't.
sell.
Those characters can be put into a story with the G1 characters, which are
They don't have
they
to.
sell
though.
more and everything.
They did. They only did. They did. Well, they did that one episode. But
IDW puts them in there with. Okay, I don't like IDW. I'll tell you this right now.
Yeah.
With their Transformer stuff, this is it's just terrible. It's basically just.
Oh yeah, I think you told me.
Yeah. You know what? They just.
But how did? Okay,
the thing
so,
is, I don't know. After watching Beast Wars and then like when seeing Transformers first and then watching Beast Wars that while, like I don't know why, but maybe the fact that they had only like maybe a good handful of characters, it wasn't a whole bunch. So I cared about it. Yeah, I was able to care more.
Better.
Rat Trap was cool. Rhinox was actually legit. Cheetor was like he was conflicted a lot. He was pretty good. Dinobot. Dinobot was probably the best one out of all of them. Megatron was cool. Tarantula's even better because he was fucking.
Death Charger was best.
Death Charger was good. Rampage was even
Spoiler:
better.
Dinobot dies.
Yeah, and that's like the best part. Because like that how he went out was fucking awesome. That was like
No, they did do
He
very
didn't
well.
go out like a bitch. No,
Dude.
not like Mace Windu.
and the fact that they actually like killed them off really well. Like they killed off characters really well. They weren't
So it'd
afraid
be
to.
cool
It
if
was
they
written
took
well.
Beast Wars story character, but not make them animals. Like take them, have them land in like modern day, and then have them transform into vehicles. It'd still be Rhinox, still be whatever.
There's some cool stories that are pre-Beast Wars that had them all before they ever adopted animal modes, and you get to see what their vehicle modes looked like on Cybertron before any of this stuff came into play. I would love to see them in those things. And originally, I would have liked for a toy line to get those guys out there. You had all these things like Transformers Armada that came with these little guys that work with your big guys and everything. Put the little Beast Wars guys in with the big guys. I don't know which guy you would pair with who. Maybe you'd pair Cheetor with Bumblebee because they're equally as annoying. but
I find that highly insulting.
put these guys together. What? Cheetor's annoying?
No, if you want to be annoying, you put Rat Trap in Bumblebee.
Yeah, no.
Cheetor is just
okay,
like Cheetor is
Rat
just Cheetor is light is
Rat Trap
lightweight
and
is
Huffer are
lightweight.
practically the same character.
But the thing is, though, but like for Cheetor, to me, he's lightweight hot rod
Yeah.
the whole time. He wasn't annoying like sidekick that can't do shit. Cheetor was actually legit, especially when he turned to the Nightmare Cheetor. That was like the coolest episode ever. Remember when he transformed into when he had the jetpack on his back, where he went like super cheap, where he had it when he went bad for a bit.
Once they
Transmetal too.
once they got turned Transmetal, I was like,
Oh yeah, that was his. What was that? That's puberty for him.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. He was like kid, slightly older tween, hits puberty, starts going after Silver Bull's girlfriend, and then eventually he becomes a young adult in Beast Machines, which you don't watch.
Well, Beast Machines is that's a different story altogether. That was a little too hippie.
Yeah,
I could have passed for a Final Fantasy story, to be honest.
Oh, dude, come on.
Well,
Yeah,
let's
I'm
not
being
say
real.
things we can't
Not
take
my
back.
fun.
No, I'm not gonna take that back.
Hey,
That's
Spirits
what-
Within was awesome.
Because it's the same thing. It's like we gotta save Cybertron, guys. Cybertron was really organic.
Wait, if it was really organic, why wouldn't we have known that from any multitude of other shows?
Because retcon.
That's stupid retcon. And you know what?
Well, that's why. Because Beast of Streets fucking failed. Either way, it looked great. Visually looked great. The explosions and the smoke effects, like they took their CGI capabilities to the next level, which is great. Compared because like
yeah, but they
I think
took
it was-
off all the reflective surfaces to
Yeah.
make it cheaper.
no, it looked great.
No, it didn't.
Not to mention it was kind of
You're
dark.
sarcastic, right?
No, it actually looked good.
Okay.
The game, the show sucked. Unfortunately,
In Beast Wars, you had a lot of reflective surfaces on all characters and stuff like that. They took that out for Beast Machines because they felt that that was something that could,
Cut costs.
They could cut some costs,
Huh.
and they did that. So it really wasn't as pretty of a show.
He was more stylized.
Oh, and let's.
oh, it looked great to me. I don't know.
Speaking of pretty, let's think about character designs here. Let's look at there was a guy called Night Scream that turned into a bat that was ugly as sin, and they tried to sell a toy of that thing. And let me guess, we did eventually got one when it was on like mega
We got it,
70%
yeah.
off clearance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Target. Woo! 90% off. Woo! Yeah.
When you're that ugly, you gotta wait for the toy to go to clearance.
But
And they made him huge because he was built up to be this very popular character. So the toys were kind of in promotional scale. So they would have Cheetor be really, really big, and they would have Night Scream, another heavily promoted character, really, really big. You know, and then characters like Silverbolt when they finally came out, and the Viacons that were much bigger than the Maximals in the show. They were very, very small in comparison because they want you to spend that $30 to get a big version of a popular character and like $10 to get a small version of something that should be really huge but isn't as popular character.
if you guys want to support Beast Wars, though, I have to say this year, because of the whole voting thing, Optimus Primal is the new Prime voted in, so there will be an Optimus Primal toy. It's a new version of Optimal Optimus that it docks with a little normal Optimus Primal. So a normal monkey, and then put him in big metal frame thing, and it's just basically a new variation of
Do
him.
you see the monkey while he's inside?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, then that's good.
Yeah, it's
It's just a big hairy monkey in the middle of the chest.
Only the classics dock with each other for this one, so it looks like there's a little Optimus Prime. It might be an Orion Pax that docks with the trailer and becomes Optimus Prime, becomes a large Optimus Prime. There's a Hot Rod that docks with his trailer and becomes Rodimus Prime in just huge mode, and greatest Transformers character ever, by the way. Very smart.
Rodimus Prime?
Rodimus? Yeah. No, just. Yeah, no, believe me, there's a lot going on with that character that a lot of people didn't catch when he was first coming out because they were just upset. Oh, I miss Optimus! Yeah, so no one really got it. And they were like,
Rodimus Prime is the kid that grows up, essentially, and is thrust into a role of responsibility and doesn't want any of it.
Sounds like it is.
It's kind of, what all of us eventually go through.
The whole season 3 was all about him dealing with that, learning stuff, and realizing, okay, all right, I can't run away from this. I got to be more responsible. And there actually is a progression. Whereas, like the Transformers series seasons 1 and 2, they're pretty much episodic. Hey, let's have an adventure. Let's have an adventure.
Oh, that wrapped up in 30 minutes.
Season
Wow, what are
3,
the odds?
in season 3, you get a progression of a lot of things, and the main one, of course, is Rodimus. Like originally, I hate this, trying to run away, realizing, okay, I can't really run away, realizing, okay, I'm gonna start to do this now, and then progression. Hey, guess what? The studio wants Optimus back. Done. So some kid locked himself in a closet for 2 weeks because Optimus Prime died. We got to bring him back. How about
Serious?
we let? Yeah, no, that actually was reportedly
Bring him back
happened.
to what?
Yeah.
To the show? To life?
They brought.
I
they
heard his
brought
room instead of closet, but oh
Could have been a closet in his room. Who knows?
well. Yeah.
It's urban legend at this point, pretty much. So they basically realized that all of a sudden they scarred all those kids by killing off Optimus Prime in 1986.
Really?
Best freaking idea ever, because all of a sudden, I gotta tell you, when I watched that movie and when I realized they killed off Optimus Prime, all these other shows I was watching at the time receded into the background.
Yeah.
Because it's like nothing else did this. Everything else is just, hey, we're here, let's sell you toys, let's have an adventure,
Yes.
let's end the episode and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Transformers, you go watch the movie, and these guys you've known for 2 seasons, you see Prowl get shot in the chest, and flames well up inside his eyes, and then he opens his mouth and fire billows out and just falls over dead.
That's supposed to be blood, by the way.
Yeah. So, and there's even more grisly deaths. There's even more grisly deaths implied. And then Optimus Prime's like, oh, I'm here to save the day. No, not this time, you're not. And,
I'm glad they did that, because I'm sure the
and he-
Decepticons were like, I've been wanting to do this forever.
And he dies on the operating table in a very heartfelt, really nasty, real life kind of way.
Yeah, they try to take what's called the
spark?
Yes.
The Allspark.
The Allspark.
The cube?
Yeah. Then they put it into
The Matrix, and they get
Yes.
Ultra Magnus.
Magnus. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Matrix already knows where it wants to go, but it's like, oh, I'll stick around with Magnus until he gets
Honestly,
blown up.
all this talk makes you really want to watch the movies again.
Yeah.
The original, no, not the cartoons. I'm talking about the actual movies. I'm not being sarcastic either.
Which actual movies?
The Michael Bay ones.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
You're-
fucking entertaining as hell. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Jesus
Uh-oh.
Christ.
Dude,
You
man,
know,
fucking
dude,
Charlotte Black shit. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what? All I gotta say is never expect a great story from a fireworks show
Wait,
because it's just a fireworks display.
Hey man,
Well,
I enjoy
You
it.
make
That's
a good
good.
point. What do you think about the Bumblebee John Cena movie?
That's a good one.
I think
I'm
that
looking forward to
both
that.
of those
Wait,
things
John
are in
Cena?
that movie, and that's about what I think about it. So
Wait, John
Bumblebee
Cena's
and
gonna be in the
John
Bumblebee
Cena.
movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about this, Lewis. Come on.
But
Like 2 weeks ago.
do we,
3 weeks.
well, I remember when we were
Yeah.
talking about John Cena, didn't know that he was going to be in the Bumblebee movie.
He's
Oh,
gonna be
that
the
was
lead.
what Robert said exactly.
No, he's going to be in Bumblebee in the movie.
Yeah, he's going to drive Bumblebee. I don't know.
Bumblebee, use the turbo boost.
I think.
That's Knight Rider.
I think it's.
That's Knight Rider, you meat-headed jerk.
Yeah. No, I'm going to enjoy it. I think we'll like it.
We'll see.
Considering that he's
I mean, if
actually
it's
a good
only
actor
going to be
now.
one Transformer.
You heard he's
okay,
going to
then-
be W Bug, right? The Bumblebee is going to be a Volkswagen
At some
vehicle for
point,
at least
probably.
some part of the movie.
Well, I hope so. I mean, if it's going to be one Transformer, okay, that's enough for my eyes.
Yeah, no, I personally,
Well, it did. I mean,
I think movie Bumblebee is a pretty crappy character in general.
Do we know the
He's-
the premise behind this movie?
He's
But-
a singing, dancing,
is
badass
he
jack of all
the,
trades.
is
What-
he going to be the same Bumblebee from the movies, or is he going to be a whole new Bumblebee in this one?
I don't know.
He's going to be the same Bumblebee from the movies,
Well-
technically, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different director, so there might actually be some character
So-
development.
I mean, if it's the same, if it's the same
Character
guy, I mean, I wouldn't mind it because the one in the latest Bumblebee is
but
actually
it's going to have that
pretty
stupid
good.
bug-looking face with the the
weird
pacifier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
if you want your faces to shower some more,
Oh god.
the Knight Rider
That's
movie is
wrong.
coming out.
Oh boy.
It's gonna, apparently they're throwing around John Cena and Kevin Hart as a voice, or Kevin Hart as a voice of Kid.
Oh my god.
Just get Mr. Feeney. He's still alive, man. Get Mr. fucking Feeney, man.
Just why would you?
Again,
do
Mr.
it?
Feeney.
You know, I don't think. I think it's gonna come out a lot
Or
like
get Hasselhoff
Baywatch.
at least.
It's gonna come out a lot like Baywatch or the Chip
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
You know.
And
I think
what,
that's
the cheesy
people just
variation
kind of
of the-
campify it.
That's what Power Rangers should have
Baywatch,
been.
Chips. Yeah, that type of stuff.
I could see definitely John Cena as Michael Knight.
Yeah.
But Kevin Hart as a annoying
Doesn't make-
yapping car.
Well, it doesn't make sense because he's supposed to be the computer. It's like, oh, now he's gonna have personality and probably crack jokes now.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think
man.
you know what? I think the real star of the show is the car. And
That's what it's
they-
all
they
like
got-
racial jokes. It's
Yeah,
gonna
they
be
have to
over
get the
top.
car right.
No Kevin
That's
Hart.
true.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, why are you talking that? Look at my car because I'm black.
I think
If he
so.
says that, if he says it, I swear to God.
You're also gonna walk out of the
Dude, I would because like, dude, it's like you're fucking. Who cares, man? You're a robot. You shouldn't even think about that. It's not your
But
problem.
you know it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna happen. I don't.
Oh my
man.
god.
I think
God.
the only way that
Get Cat Williams. He's funnier.
Oh, get Chris Tucker.
He's-
Get the cat Williams in a fucking pimped out Cadillac. Lines of coke all over the floor and shit.
the only way the car could pass is if they made a modified version of the Camaro into a Pontiac Firebird.
Yeah, which Pontiac doesn't exist anymore, so
If
enjoy
it
that.
doesn't, so then there has to be a Camaro. Then I never liked it when they had the Mustang in the new TV series.
Yeah.
It's just like what?
Oh, the Knight Rider team?
No, the
No,
one after
the
the
new- the other
the
one.
primetime one.
Oh,
Yeah.
not the Knight Rider show, the team.
No, not Team Night
Did I
Rider.
watch
Team
that
Knight Rider,
episode?
yeah.
I don't even know if I watched that show. I guess it died really fast.
Well, yeah, it had a cool, cool base though. They had like the giant C4 for like their main base. That was kind of cool.
C4 is an explosive.
Now,
No,
they,
the jet.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
they originally chose the Pontiac just because they felt it looked, very futuristic.
Oh,
That's
No,
the
don't
only
compare
reason.
it. So bring something real.
Compared to the DeLorean, right?
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Just crawl right in with
Well,
that.
that was the reasoning. That was the reasoning. So,
That's
And
that's
actually,
it.
I think that was part of my argument that Doc should have picked that
Right.
Trans Am, the Firebird, because it looked more. It still looks like a new car now. I haven't even watched it, of course.
True.
Somebody did it.
All it takes is watch.
But somebody had already done the Trans Am. Like, look at that one.
I don't know. The DeLorean still looks dated, but
Dude, you gotta make you gotta make Kid a Tesla.
They'll probably use like a Bugatti.
It don't even. It might.
Don't give
actually
people
might
ideas,
be,
man.
It might actually
I swear
might be
to
a
fucking
Tesla. I
God.
would be surprised. But if I was them, I would make it to like a Ford GT or maybe a Lamborghini.
Why does it gotta be American?
Yeah, it has to be American, so Ford GT then, right? Or a Corvette. I think Corvette. Actually, the new Corvette almost looks like it. You know.
Well, the
Actually could,
The
yeah.
Just
new
remove that.
NSX too.
Huh?
The new NSX.
Yeah, but it has to be American.
Why?
just in some merchant shop.
Look,
Oh, yeah,
if the Japanese made kit, it would just be like too effective. It would never lose, and there would be no drama in the show. Okay?
Yeah, it would be a black guy voicing the.
And its MPG and its miles per gallon would be just insanely good. And you wouldn't have any gas station scenes.
I don't know, man, because like a cool kit would be like, well, like I said, NSX, like the '90s NSX, not the newer one.
No, the newer one probably more.
Or which one? Like the one without the pop-up headlights?
The latest one.
Oh, I don't care about that one.
Because it doesn't look like anything.
No, I guess so.
The
But
other
I'd rather just have the NSX. I would have the FD Arc 7. That'd be cool. That'd be a cool kit.
It got absorbed by GM, right? Pontiac, the brand, is a GM.
Yeah.
No,
brand.
GM just shut it down. That's all.
No, in which case they could just pull it
GM
under.
owns it.
They could put it under one of their other things and everything.
They did. They made like I think they made 20 of them. No, they made 70.
Well, I mean,
70 Pontiac versions of the Camaro.
well, I mean, they could use all of the 70 Pontiac versions, Pontiac Camaros. Oh, that's nice.
Did they make the Trans Am?
Yeah, they made the Smoking the Bandit edition.
They
So
made
it has
70.
the big gold eagle on it and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
And
Cool.
it has
Which
a-
really
in
was
which
just a
case,
Camaro.
They can
modified.
just put it
It basically
under,
is a Camaro. It's,
yeah, they can just make a Chevrolet Firebird or whatever and just.
They could.
No, they could just limited edition Pontiac Firebird because they still own the name.
Still in the name.
It should be like a Chevy production of Knight Rider the movie.
That would be a good way to bring Pontiac back out on the market
No.
with some
No.
sort of.
I don't
Pontiac
think they care.
is Pontiac is not a good brand.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it depends on the car.
It's an
Like if you
80s
bring out
phone.
GTOs out, yeah.
It's like trying to bring back Saturn, which is also owned by GM, and saying, "Oh, hey, we're ready to sell cars." It's like, no, the problem with GM is it has too many brands. It should have just been Chevrolet, Cadillac, and
Or just
Hummer.
like one to cover all the bases, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was
each
the
one
other
has to be
brands?
unique.
And GMC,
Yeah, GMC, yeah, it was like Saturn,
Well, they shut down Saturn too.
Plymouth.
Mhm.
You got all this crap.
Kevin Hart, really.
Plymouth is a Dodge.
Mm.
But anyway, so
John Cena, really.
John Cena.
I mean, he's pretty good in movies.
He is.
Yeah.
When are we getting our Masters of the Universe movie with the entire cast of
Wasn't
the
it coming out in
WWE? Come on.
2019?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
2019?
That's it.
Oh, what's his face can produce?
Who would you have as Randor? Was it Ric Flair?
WWE
Oh.
Entertainment.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would. Ric Flair as Randor.
Dude, he's
Big
even
Randall.
alive by then.
No, he's dead.
Yeah, he's
Or dying.
He's
Saw him at San
dying.
Diego Comic Con this year. He looked pretty darn good.
You know,
You didn't
That
hear
was the
about it?
last of it. That was his last straw.
That guy's on dialysis right now.
Oh.
who?
He's suffering kidney failure
Oh.
and liver failure.
Yeah, so it's not much
It's
time.
like
for
his
that.
whole body shut down, dude.
Oh.
But hey, if you ask him, he already said it. He's like, don't feel sorry for him because he already lived his life 100 times more than anybody else.
You know, good attitude to have. Power to him.
Don't probably make Roman Reigns like the
Yeah, wait,
hero.
King Randor.
No.
Who would be Skeletor then?
I don't know.
Somebody, probably the most charismatic actor
Undertaker?
they've got in the entire. No, not Undertaker.
It doesn't even matter
I
though.
don't
With
know.
Skeletor, you can just CG his face or whatever. And
I don't know.
That's true.
I'm so in love with the Frank Langala's
Skeletor?
Skeletor
Yeah.
that I'm almost expecting something similar or something even just as good.
Yeah.
It's good. Skeletor, the character, is
they can
wonderful
just CG
because
all the bodies
he
anyway.
really
300
is
style.
Well, I mean,
an asshole just to be an asshole. He is that guy who will, if he sees a puppy across the street, he'll walk across the street just to kick that puppy.
Mhm.
And that's what's interesting about his character. He is gleeful
Evil,
in the
for the
fact
sake
of
of
how
evil is usually a very
evil.
bad thing. It's just usually a crappy storytelling mechanism. It's set when you go over the top.
It's fortunate that in the actual,
Because he nitpicks at the smallest little
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
but like in the movie, he actually had a rhyme and reason for being an asshole. I mean,
True.
We almost actually believed in him and cited him.
What was his reason for being an asshole in the movie? I don't remember.
He wanted to be the master of the universe.
No.
Well, that makes sense. Considering the title and all.
He needed the sword.
No, he. What was
He
it?
needed some sort of key. He needed that
He needed the
Wilderness key to open up other dimensions of the reality.
Yeah, and he had to open it up during the eclipse or something, you know.
Yeah.
And then what?
Yeah, that's
No.
he took gold.
And takes over
I
everything.
know he went gold, but like that's because
Super Saiyan. No.
He took on the
He took the sorceress's power, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right, that sorceress.
Because she became
she was like,
old. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, him, Skeletor, and Evil Lyn were like the best part of the movie. Maybe and Man at Arms too.
Not Blade.
Blade.
Oh, they're talking about that. I'm like, Blade? What you
Yeah, they're good too.
And then like with technology, they can actually do Orca.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they can make him like.
And the tiger.
Yeah, Creature.
Bellcat.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I thought, weren't they coming out with the movie in 2019 or a new one?
I've heard
Yeah,
so
they've
many
been trying to
things,
work
but they've
on
been
it.
kind of
So we
spotty
shot
about
outside?
it.
Oh, there it goes.
What the hell was
Is that your car? No, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's like they're gonna have to like really do something about that movie, you know, because even now people see it. Oh, it's just an action figure movie. You know, it's like it's. I don't think the franchise is taking it seriously
Some things
to the
were,
regular movie.
Cartoon was that?
Some things
Huh?
were,
Yeah,
some
it was.
things
All of it
weren't.
was, right?
The
All
whole
the
thing.
cartoons.
The whole thing
It was a commercial.
Yeah, it's the whole thing was.
Yeah.
So it's
It,
like,
it kind of was.
what do you want?
Well, that one thing though is that they make a Master Universal movie, unless they develop it into. I feel like only people like us are going to watch it. You know, why take the family out?
No,
No,
there are
unless
ways to market
no,
it.
Unless they got
Spectacle-
WWE wrestlers to do it, you know.
Spectacle will definitely be a thing.
Do it like
And-
300,
Mm-hmm.
you know, except for you make it a bit more fun.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Sorry, more fun than 300.
There we
Anyway,
go. I was going to say, man.
No, the creativity, that was the main thing that was the driving force of that line. Just like the fact that you just like all of a sudden see something on the shelf, oh, it's a skunk man, this is awesome. Here's a porcupine guy.
and there weren't
Here's a guy that's part
Moss man.
crocodile.
there weren't
Yeah, here's a
two
guy that
of
smells
any
like
of any
pine.
race. They had all these
Moss all over
different
him.
races because they kept inventing new guys, and there were no two of the same race at all. You know, so there's Beast Man, but you never see another one of his race.
Until the other show, yeah.
Yeah. It's like they just kept coming up with ideas and just kept pouring it out,
It's
cranking it out.
I say that Masters of the Universe should be at like totally a combo of like Lord of the Rings and 300. I mean, it's really the creativity of it though. It's like when you see a character on screen, you already know more or less what it's going to do. Okay, it's a porcupine dude. And you're just
You have
and
to get-
for the most part, a lot of things just like you accept it. It's
You have to get
self-explanatory
past
and it's fun.
the suspension of disbelief for this kind of world.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing.
Well, I think the trailer will help you out on that one.
It's,
Right?
it's this really overly fantastic world where they've got, you know, magic and incredible technology all working all at
I
the same
just-
place. And
yeah.
everything,
All I ask
and
for
it makes no sense.
is He-Man to do a better, oh my god, the power, or more epic version than
I have
Dolph
the power,
Lundgren.
by the way.
Yeah. Whatever. You
I
know.
got the power. I have the power, but I got it.
No,
Here we go. I wanted something more epic than that.
They're
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
just putting She-Ra also in there. For
I wouldn't put She-Ra in
They'll
the
put a
first
tease.
movie.
They would put a tease.
Post credits.
They would post credits. You'll see the other sword with the gem in it,
Yeah.
the sword of protection.
And then the evil, whatchamacallit, Horde Captain Adora. And they'll be like, oh, okay, well, he's got to go fight his evil sister. Because she starts off evil.
She has a unicorn.
Much
right?
like Xena.
Well, yeah.
She has a unicorn or a flying.
Well, it's technically a horse,
It's a horse that
but
turns into a unicorn.
Oh, good lord, no.
wings.
No.
Yeah, wings. Unicorn.
No.
Pegasus.
Back then, yes,
and
back
it's
then,
pink
yes,
and
now no.
rainbowy, and it's a dude.
And it's a dude.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's because
It was because it was a toy line for girls. Right?
Lou Scheimer.
Twilight, the group.
Lou
A toy
Scheimer.
line for girls.
Oh, Twilight.
Lou Scheimer, the
it's
executive
something
producer of
different.
He-Man and She-Ra,
Yeah.
who I had the pleasure of meeting before he passed away a couple years ago. He said that with that character, the horse, they were like, oh my gosh, there's so much estrogen going on throughout this entire series. I'm making the horse a dude. Swiftwind, it became a dude. And yes, he's got very colorful wings and this and that, but he has this very down masculine voice and, you know, all sort
I
of...
don't know, She-Ra. Do you think that's a good idea?
So the dude that turns into the horse?
No.
The horse
The
is huge.
voice is the
The
horse.
horse turns into a unicorn.
Now, here's the thing: animals in Eternia and apparently Etheria can talk. I mean, there's Cringer who's I don't know about this, Adam. I don't think I want to be Battle Cat. I think I just wet myself thinking about it. So
You should 2000 style that one where Cringer doesn't talk. Just none of this talking stuff.
They don't have to talk.
yeah.
Yeah, they shouldn't. They don't.
They don't need to. It was just the way it was done back in the day.
Yeah.
2000 style, they just had them just like make scary cat sounds.
Yeah.
And it got the fact across that this was a cat that was actually pretty big in its own right, but was terrified of everything.
It happens to animals. And then you chase them down, and you're just like, I want to give you a hug, and then they just
Pee all
sit
the
down
floor.
and peel over the floor.
Yes.
Now I'd like to see Skeletor's Battle Cat in it.
Panther, yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, I
no,
forgot about that.
yeah,
Purple
no.
one?
Panther never had that problem.
That was
thing
cool.
is
The toy had like a little felt on it.
Yeah, it was flocked. They did a lot more with that guy in the 2000s one. As a matter of fact, like Beastman and all these others were afraid of Panther because he was a huge thing that
Only really was able to be controlled by Skeletor, so walking
I think
by
they raised it
they
from
were
a
afraid.
kitten. Yeah, I think they showed that or
They
something.
raised him from a kid.
Yeah.
Skeletor did?
Yeah.
And
Well,
they kept
Keldor.
showing them footage that was all bad, sort of like Blanca from the movie.
Taped his eyes.
50% or 51% bad.
Carlos Blanca?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and yeah, so that was
Well, I
it.
hope they do Evelyn justice. I still love her in the Master of the Universe movie.
No, she was very well.
Meg Foster was excellent in it.
Yeah.
They didn't even have to put makeup on her, dude. That's how good she was.
Generally,
Kind of wrong.
she's generally very backstabbing, though. I mean, even a Skeletor, she's pretty.
Well, in the movie, she had ulterior motives, I think.
She always has ulterior motives. She had it in the 2000 series too. She's like, oh hey, Skeletor. Well, you're not doing what I want, so I'm gonna go like cheat on you and see if I can pull Hordak out of another dimension and work for him. And didn't she work for the Snake Man? She worked for everybody. Jeez.
Damn.
What a whore.
What show was that?
Now he wants to watch it.
Not really.
It's the 2000s He-Man
2000.
show.
What's that
Yeah,
called?
and basically the story of that, they make it a lot clearer of Skeletor and Evelyn's origin. And her name originally was apparently Evelyn. But, so they were like young lovers, Keldor and Evelyn and stuff. And they're like, hey, let's start taking over parts of the Dark Hemisphere together. And, even one of the guys that used to be an elder of whole Eternia, he's a very strong magic user, is like, I don't know, I don't want you dating that boy. So they ran off together and did kind of the Bonnie and Clyde thing, and then eventually, he's like, whatever, I'm going to take over the whole kingdom and everything. And he like goes and fights Randor, and he's like, well, I gotta. Okay, I'm sorry, and he throws a vial of acid to try to on Randor's face, and much like every Two-Face origin, he has a shield and gets that deflected back at his face, and starts eating away at his face. And Evelyn's like, "Are you okay?" And it's like, "No, I got some acid in my face." So, to save his life, he contacts his old dark arts teacher and promises he'll try to pull him out of the dimension he's stuck in, which is Hordak from She-Ra.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, but you'll have to do a favor for me and everything if I save your life. And so what it was is he bonds him to like some stupid extra-dimensional demon, which also makes him a little loopier. So as Keldor, who's pretty sharp right on there, Skeletor, you realize, gets a little loopy because he's not all there. It's because he's bonded to this thing.
Huh.
And that's why he can have his skull face and still be alive. He is
So
he's on magic life support.
Got it. Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
He's a magical Darth Vader.
Does make
He's a magical Darth Vader, and and so it's like, okay, so I saved your life, and a couple years later, Hordak's like, well, I'm ready to do that favor, and he's like, oh, go to my temple and everything, and set me free from this other dimension, then I'll conquer Eternia. And he goes to the thing, takes out his Havoc Staff and shoots it to the ground. It's like, no, I'm taking over this thing. It's like
Wait, how does Hordak get back then?
Evelyn does it because he starts treating her like shit when he turns into Skeletor. They don't have the same love connection.
Sure, because
as it were.
not the same person.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he is, but he isn't. He's
Not quite
connected
the
to
same
a
person.
demo thing that they call Demon Man.
Yeah.
Demo Man or whatever the heck it is. So, yeah.
Demon Man.
Demo Man. Yeah.
Demon Man.
Yeah, so that's kind of that. So he gets more and more crazy, and she's like, I don't love you the way I used to. He's like, come on, baby.
That show wasn't on for long, was it?
It was on 2 seasons. So third season was going to be good. Third season was going to be good. Hordak was going to get out. It was going to have She-Ra, all that stuff. And they're like, and you know what Cartoon Network does when you get a dramatic cartoon on? They're like, oh my gosh, a dramatic cartoon? No, let's put on more cartoons.
No,
Cancel this stupid
Put it
thing.
on 5 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was really going
So it
pretty
stops?
good.
Just
Yeah.
like that?
Just like that.
Damn.
Yeah, no, season 2 was really good. Season 2 was the Snake Men, which never got done in the original TV show, which basically they ruled, instead of like a lot of dinosaurs and stuff like that, they had these evil snake people that used magic, and then they kind of went around grabbing people and put them in stables and then ate them. So they ate people, and one of the main guys is Zodak, which I showed you.
Yes.
And who's played by Christopher Judge.
Judge Teal'c
Teal'c
from
from
SG-1.
Yeah.
And the main reason why he's in the fight is because his brother got eaten by like King Hiss, the main Snake Man.
Yeah.
To make a point.
Yes.
King Hiss.
Hey, it was made to sell toy lines, so kids had to understand.
Well, technically, there's no I in there, so I don't know how you pronounce HSSSS.
Like this, King.
There you go.
Jesus Christ.
No, but that would have been cool to see a buff Jesus Christ in the freaking toy line.
Wasn't that
Put it weird on
He-Man?
He-Man.
Did you guys watch the Thundercats one?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that
that
was
was
good.
boring.
That was picking up okay, and then
That was okay.
same thing.
And then
whatchamacallit canceled it.
Yeah, Cartoon Network.
Oh.
Yeah, Cartoon Network.
Yeah, that was I tried watching it. I was like, no. this
It was alright.
This
They
is
took a
boring.
few spins on it, like
Started off pretty
Lion-O
well.
started off being younger and everything, and which was interesting. I know that eventually they would have had him grow up because that's what actually happened in the original series. Most everybody remembers him, doesn't remember that he started off actually a bit younger. But they were going to spend a little bit more time in his younger state before going on. But no, it was interesting, and they really tried to expand the world. They got Larry Kennedy, the original Lion-O voice, back to be Lion-O's father and everything.
I really like. Sorry to interrupt, but I really like the voice acting bloopers because it made me laugh because you could tell that just they're like, what the fuck are we reading?
Pretty much.
Yep.
It's so ridiculous sometimes.
No, it's
For me, it's like Thundercats is just that 1 minute intro, and that's
it.
That's all
Yeah,
I need.
it
That's all I
kinda
need.
really
that
is.
show was not good, and
people have
it
a lot
had
of
some
fond
colorful,
memories
interesting
of it.
characters.
That's
but
Oh, the intro. That's all.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
I
and
try. That's why I try to watch when I try to watch the anime version of it.
A young mind will make something out to be really, really cool.
Mhm.
Now, when you go back to it when you're older,
Like when you try to watch
a lot
Turtles.
of things you'll be like, oh.
But that's the thing, though. Like, I never even liked the
It
show
was
to
way
begin
better
with.
in my head before.
Yeah,
Huh?
Voltron.
That's the thing. I never liked. I
Voltron's
never liked it
another-
to begin with. Like the show. I mean, only the intro is cool, and even now it's still fucking cool. But just
The intro still holds up.
It just
So,
yeah.
you
It's
guys
just
seen the new
boring.
Voltron or no?
I've seen the first. No. I've seen
It's good.
It is very
the
good.
one of the later episodes. It is pretty good.
If
It
Voltron
is from a
had
place
a
of-
baby with Avatar: The Last Airbender,
Yeah.
that's what the show
Give me
is.
back the
is
give me
it-
back the CG one from the '90s.
Oh gosh, shut up.
Oh wait, the Voltron in
The
third
third
dimension.
Third dimension.
Oh, that show's
With the stealth lions?
horrible.
Hey man,
Yeah.
it sucked, but I watched it. It was great.
So
But
are
I just wait for
in the
to see
show,
Vehicle
it's
Voltron again. What?
in the show, are they already transformed, or are they still trying to get up to that?
To become Voltron.
It takes
The-
them. It takes them several episodes to
They
do.
have become. Yeah, it takes a while for them to actually learn.
Are they
how
in
to
full
do that.
swing now? Like, we're Voltron, here comes a new threat. Kill it.
Not exactly. They are doing a lot better storytelling than that. They're
man.
basically
I mean,
just
that's good.
they're just starting to let in another one because I mean they just brought in they at the end of season 2 they finally beat the one big bad the father, and now the
Zarkon.
prince is starting to
Lord.
become a deal.
Yeah.
So and both of these are done. They were done really well. did some backstory on that, and they said that they weren't the original paladins or pilots of the Lions, and Zarkon was one of the original paladins, and
Their arch enemy, yeah.
their arch enemy is like, oh, how does he know about the Lions? Well, he used to pilot Black Lion. We're like, what? Yeah. So
The transformation's pretty cool.
yeah, the transformations. It looks like the old transformation, really. I mean,
Yeah.
for the most part, the
It's more of
transformation
an
is-
homage.
The music?
It's an homage to the other. No, not the music. But the music is different. And everything.
Um,
So the look of the new
some of
Voltron
the-
is fine.
They really take story elements. Like, I don't know if you remember the original, but do you remember the?
They
Keith?
definitely homage like all the old shows, like the whole thing, that outtake from Thundercats about the Samo flange with the Samo flange.
Yeah.
They use
Yeah.
Samo flange in Voltron,
Yeah.
the Netflix show.
Yeah,
So-
And
what's a
there's even more stuff.
That's exactly what
It's
this
a made-up tool.
Yeah.
And
Flange.
yeah.
So that's where they got it from. That's where World of Warcraft got it from.
Yeah, like that's why they had to go get the salmon flange. And that's why it's like, what the fuck is a salmon flange?
They did that. They had that in Warcraft too.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the music is not the same.
No.
No, the music is not. A lot of the characters
I'm taking
are
that.
different. Some of the characters hold
Yes.
startling
Thing.
secrets.
Startling.
Best thing ever is, Keith, who wears red, was always the pilot of the Black Lion. As far as we know, in the
No,
past.
Sven was the pilot of Black Lion.
Sven was the pilot of Black Lion in the original series, and something happened to Sven to make Keith take over as the pilot of Black Lion. Now,
Does he still wear red though?
yeah, Keith always wears red.
So
Yeah.
this is connected to the original
so it won't be
series?
permanent
So
then.
I'll tell you what you're going to see to begin with is a character called Shiro, who is the actual name of what Sven was in Japan, and he is going to be the one that is piloting Black Lion for some time. You're going to get to know him very well and understand his character and everything. But as the way of Voltron is, something is going to happen to the pilot of Black Lion that is going to make things rearrange, and Keith is going to take his place.
Basically, it starts off all different. It's like,
Leader.
I like this one better. And a lot of the new people that are getting onto it, the younger kids, yeah, that's it. It's like, then everyone's like, they're hinting that something's going to change in the roster, and they're all going to go to different lions. And everyone that's a fan of the original show is like, I know what's going to happen right
Yep.
here.
Right, huh?
And what's funny is I was talking to one of my friends. I don't even know who's. Oh my gosh, this person isn't even in this line anymore. Who's going over there? It's like, Princess Allure is going to be in that line. And it's like, no, what? The princess doesn't pilot. And it's like, how much you want of that?
She's gonna pilot the black one.
No, she pilots the blue.
But not yet.
She always pilots.
Yeah. For all of us that know this about Voltron and everything, this is
one of them
That
died,
was
right?
one of the things
Yeah.
that was so weird when we were
Sven
kids.
died.
I didn't understand. Lance, who wears blue, pilots the red lion. I'm like, okay. And Keith, who wears red, pilots the black lion. Okay. And Allura wears pink and pilots the blue lion. Okay. Hunk, yellow to yellow, and Pidge, green to green. Okay. But why are these all other things screwed
because
up?
you missed the episode where
Yeah.
where some bad stuff went down
Yeah.
and Sven died. And
Yep.
Sven had his accent and every time.
Yeah.
That's stereotypical.
It was a terrible.
I remember when that happened. I was like, holy
Sven
shit, they
Norwegian?
killed off some. They killed off a
But
character.
I don't think any of us really got a chance to really know Sven
Nobody
back in the
knows
old series.
That well.
You know,
Fine.
so it was not as dramatic as it could have been.
It's not like Optimus Prime or Roy
Yeah.
from Robotech or something
Yeah,
like that.
those characters, you get a chance to really say, "Wow, I love this character. This is my favorite character. This is that was my favorite character. What? So yeah."
Who pilots the red line?
Ryo from
Red Lion is
Voltron.
Lance.
What does he wear?
Blue.
Because he's originally pilot's Blue Line.
Yeah, but so he upgraded.
Yeah, he's
No, not exactly.
Because in the original, it was just blue to blue, and then blue died, and then pink came in blue. And that was it, right?
No.
There was a bunch of shifting.
There's a
I
bunch.
don't
The
remember
three
the
lines
shifting.
got totally shifted.
I don't remember
So.
the ships. I remember the blue line got cut off, and then pink line.
What is it?
There is no pink line.
I mean, pink. pilot, Pink
That
Ranger.
would be
running down.
interesting if they added a pink line.
Pink
Yeah,
leg,
just like Power Rangers.
like a pig leg.
Yeah, it'd be freaking stupid honk is like, yeah, well, I always thought I'd want to form the head and everything. It's like, the black lion doesn't respond to you. Well, yeah, I figured I'd form the head with the yellow lion because I like the yellow lion better. You're an idiot.
You know what Voltron thing I found impressive was the Voltron Lego set. That's this tall.
Yeah.
And it comes with all the tigers and everything transformed with it.
I remember making Voltron out of, like, I think they were called bristle blocks back when I was little and everything too. So Voltron
Yeah.
is a very popular
Is
process.
the sword a big deal?
Vehicle Force Voltron.
I had vehicle
Yes,
force
there is a
Voltron.
big deal about his sword. They use the sword normally for a while, and
Like normally, like same animation normally.
like a standard sword. But you remember something that was special that was called Voltron sword was called
Yeah.
Blazing Sword.
Right.
Did they
And
form it?
eventually they figure out how to do that. So
Figure it out.
yeah,
it's like
there's
the
a
last
lot of
episode where
there's a lot of basic
Shut up.
basic moves and everything that the that Voltron does, and they're okay
These
with it.
are
But as
like
they
legendary machines that they've found, and essentially they're still trying to learn.
and
how
they
to use
lost
all
the
those
owner's
abilities.
manual. No,
Yeah, they lost the
They
owner's
never had an
manual.
owner's manual, but it depending on the bond between the paladins or pilots. It reacts differently if you know how to do certain things. So they're still figuring out interesting things to do with it, and a lot of it did come from the old show. So from Go Lion,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it's called.
Oh
Go
man,
Lion.
fucking Running Warriors. Were you guys even talking about that? I know you guys talking about Voltron, but I just heard him say the song once. I was like, "Oh yeah, Running Warriors, set it up."
You know what I miss? You ever
That
see
show also had progression.
It did.
Yeah.
The real one was bad though.
What do you
Or
miss?
the American one was.
You ever
like,
see Inhumanoids?
I remember it in Human. I
Sounds
don't
familiar.
remember.
That was some scary, awful cartoons for kids to watch.
You know
and I
what?
want
That
more.
would be a great. I would love to see a Hollywood movie. Just
Yeah,
take
That's
that.
familiar.
Because it's like Pacific Rim, except for like evil.
Things trapped in the Earth's core.
They were like, hey, we're going to do these things. We're explorers. We're going to drill down to the Earth's core, and we're going to, we hear that there's pockets and caves and stuff like that, so we're going to explore them. There's like certain things, certain forces of nature, even trees are like kind of whispering and doing stuff, and kind of like things are ominous.
Tell
people
him, don't do that.
People are like, don't do this shit, don't do this, and they're like, whatever, we're heroes, we're going to go down to the Earth's core anyway. It's not like we're going to free some sort of ultimate evil.
Let alone 3 of them.
Yeah, well, they find this one thing, and there's, well, I think which one do they?
Oh, that does sound
It's
familiar.
tendril first, right?
I don't remember.
They find this like weird massive vines and everything. They're like, oh, it's all locked up. Well, here we can, I want to get this thing out of here so we can study it. No, it comes alive and it's just a giant evil vine monster thing, and then it starts taking root. And then these trees that were talking to them actually start. You can
That's
see them
30 stories
mutate.
tall.
They start actually talking. They kind of look like the ones from Mortal Kombat too.
So
and they're like
they look kind
we're
of
trying to warn you. These were things that were patrolling the earth, and we helped lock up years ago. You dumb sons of. So they accidentally let that one loose, and then they release the
Is it Medlar or Decompose?
Decompose was next. He was the worst one because if he touches you, that's what you do. So yeah, he's basically a big kaiju thing that just He
looks like a very unsavory version of like a Cubone or a Marowak.
No, he's basically like he's got exposed skull and ribs and
That
stuff.
sounds like.
and he's got like
It's very metal.
No. It sounds like those skull crawlers they had in Kong Island. Or Skull Island.
he's kind of like that. His skin, I believe, has additional like just body parts and stuff in him, like whatchamacallit Legion from Castlevania. So he's a terrifying
I was
thing.
watching the video right now.
And he can either turn you into a zombie follower or just touch you and kill you, kind of thing. So, and then there was the one that's locked in the center of the Earth, which is supposedly the most dangerous one, which was magnetic is magnetism is what holds him there, and then they screw that. No, the other two guys free him. So you end up with 3 giant kaiju things running around the earth, like saying, "What the hell happened while we were locked up? What are these four-limbed, 2-legged pieces of shit doing on the planet?" So,
They're also like 30 stories tall, so yeah.
yeah. So and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh my gosh!" So the good guys, which is like 4 of them, get equipped with battle suits and then get ready to try to
Bust some head. Oh wait, no.
yeah. So that's the nature of it. And there's a lot of people, like, there's the girl that kind of follows them around and is supposed to be kind of sort of on the team, except for she never does anything useful. And then Decompose touches her and turns her into a zombie bitch.
What the
You see her-
hell?
yeah.
And then there was that other creature that has like stomach acid and has a clear stomach, so people it keeps eating people, and they're like trapped inside its stomach, and you can see them like dissolve and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're,
This was a cartoon
they're
that
slowly
they showed.
digested, then they're pounding up against the like clear window of its stomach.
that how they
It's
eat
like-
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how'd they win?
They did. That was one of the things too. Just bad stuff happened. Sometimes they won for that episode or whatever, but the show never completed. So is it 1 season, 2 seasons? No, 2 seasons.
It's 2 seasons of basically bad shit going on.
Damn.
Yeah, no, you've just unleashed primal forces of awful. And then they're like, well, should we use nukes? I'm like, no.
Never use them.
Yeah.
Every time they say never use them.
Yeah, no, it's a scary movie for kids, really. Well, I don't even know if it was really for kids.
Well, the way you're explaining it.
Well, it basically a lot of properties
That's sort of
during that
things.
time that were meant for kids, they gave it to a story writer, and these were a lot of us, really aspiring people who really wanted to write something
For Hollywood.
fantastic. So yeah, somebody looked at this story and thought it was horror, really a great horror franchise with
Yeah.
monsters and everything like that, and that's how they wrote it. And Hasbro, I think, made the toys.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know what? So long as we got a good show out there, we don't care. Make it, make it good. Make it the best you can. Okay, horror it is then. Survival horror.
There's toys of this?
Oh yeah.
No, they're probably pretty expensive now too.
Let me see if I can find.
Well, they made the toy of the alien creature from Aliens.
Decompose was the
That's
one that
a straight up horror movie.
I mean, he was
They
not
made,
the most powerful
they
one,
made
but-
Terminator toys back in the day. They
Oh,
made,
yeah, I remember.
It doesn't
they
rated
made
R without
Aliens,
meant nothing.
and these are all R-rated movies that kids, by all reasoning, should not have gone to see.
Well, they didn't have to go see because they could play the games.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Because I mean, playing Aliens on Super Nintendo was that was pretty good.
Huh. Was that the beat-off one?
No, it's a side-scrolling exploring one
Oh okay.
with the green and blue flamethrowers.
Oh, I had Alien 3 for Sega.
Here's the wiki for Decompose. He's got his guts hanging out of his
Rib cage.
rib cage. Yeah.
So it was a cartoon, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Decompose, the undead horror.
The way it sounds is not surprising because I mean,
Ruler of
shit was
skull
kind
web.
of gross back then. No one
Sounds like it's
was
from a 70s.
Ability
or
to
something.
mutate others into
Yeah.
undead monsters.
So,
To
I have
develop
a question for
undead
you guys once
monsters.
you're done.
What's that?
Once you're done.
Go ahead.
I'm done.
What is one?
Yeah.
What is a cartoon that you guys used to watch that does stand the test of time?
Does
That still does?
that's hard.
That
Like
from the
what,
80s.
from the 80s or
Yeah, from the 80s.
But that you can watch and
that you
not
can
be
just
bored
watch
of it.
and just not be bored. Yeah. And
Okay.
that'd be like,
Macross. Robotech.
Yeah.
Let's see that.
I got
It's
one
kind
for
of
it.
boring though.
What you got?
It is
The
boring,
real
but
Ghostbusters.
Real Ghostbusters is pretty good.
Oh yeah.
It's not
no.
the best
You-
overall, but it's pretty
Is that
good.
from the 80s or early 90s?
It's from the 80s, right?
It might be early 90s because it was 92 when
Part 2 came out.
part 2 came out.
Yeah,
and
Lewis, you're on your own question.
Part 2 came out after
Where did this get in?
Ghostbusters.
God damn it.
That's for sure.
I don't
Because
know.
they made Slimer was
80s
made a big
movie?
thing in the show, and
Oh,
then
yes, right.
it was
yeah,
put
I
into
saw
the
the
movie.
entry.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, the
There's not
toys
that
are
many
fucking-
80s cartoons I'll sit back and
From the 80s. A lot of them are just like.
Here's the toy of Decompose for you.
I will say, Transformers-wise,
Here you go.
season
Wow.
3
Jesus.
is a bit better,
Yeah.
although some of the animation
pretty
is
crazy.
spotty.
Yeah.
It's
No, it's
the stories
Yeah,
are
1994.
better, but seasons 1 and 2 are so episodic. It's kind of like
Yeah.
sometimes. Love the characters,
Okay, well,
but
let's
With
boost
cartoons came out
it up a
84.
decade from the 90s.
Okay, the 90s. 90s a little better.
Yeah.
oh, Batman animated.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much that right there.
God damn it.
X-Men animated.
And we have those two. I
Yeah.
think those are the top two right there.
Everything Disney, like Tailspin.
Disney Afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't say DuckTales, though. That's actually kind of boring.
Oh, they were
Oh,
good
86.
episodes, but yeah.
No, because
Darkwing Duck was amazing.
Darkwing Duck was ridiculous.
So,
Bonkers was good.
90s. Bonkers was awesome.
Bonkers was good.
Darkwing Duck was like
Animaniacs.
no-
Goof Troop was
Tiny
even really
Toons.
good. Animaniacs.
Tiny
yes.
Toons is always
It's
going to be good.
amazing because he's a hero for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, what else is really good?
Glory
Mummy's Alive.
Mummy's
Yeah.
Alive.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Duck. Wait, which? No.
The cartoon, the Mighty
The
Ducks.
space one?
Yeah. You guys don't like that?
No.
Bucky O'Hare.
What?
Bucky
Yeah,
O'Hare.
Bucky O'Hare.
Bucky O'Hare had at least very good intro.
It's from the 80s,
Yeah.
right?
No,
No, we're to we bumped up
But
to
Bucky
90s.
came out
guys.
after
So many
this.
yellow versions of the.
Well, no, but Ghostbusters did go from 84 to 86 to 90.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The real Ghostbusters.
The real Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah,
The
but
real
Romero wanted to bump it up though too.
Okay, yeah, no, we get
Because
that.
80s is kind of.
freaking.
I mean, I can't really recall much.
There's some good ones in the 80s.
There were, but there was a lot of them. Like you see, like intros. So I'm like, man, why have I never seen? Just like for instance, like the Street Fighter cartoon. It was in the 90s.
Yeah.
The Street Fighter cartoon. I never even heard about it in my life until the internet.
Yeah.
And I was never
USA thing.
But then
Yeah.
they never showed on when we saw. We never.
Yes,
saw
yes,
it.
I killed your father. I killed my father too, and you don't hear me whining about it.
Because that's the thing that like stuff like that, like you don't even hear.
You did like 2 Darkstalkers cartoons or only one?
Just one.
There was the Japanese
the
movies, the OAVs. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm
But
talking about the
the
cartoon.
cartoon,
actually. The
cartoon,
cartoon
yes.
was a comedy.
Yes.
Pyron was a joke.
And it followed
Pyron was such a joke.
that one random.
Dude, everybody was a joke in that.
Everybody except the dude with the Akuma beats. He was
They
cool.
almost like broke the
Yeah.
fourth wall sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just like they didn't
Yeah.
care.
But man, I don't know whatever. It's Capcom.
It was it was Felicia and that one kid with the glasses
Yeah.
that had the floating ability.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonder why he wasn't in the games.
I don't remember that deep, Lewis.
Yeah, dude.
But what about Spider-Man?
Oh,
Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was
Spider-Man.
good, but then easily overshadowed by X-Men. So.
Yeah.
No,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, it was.
I want to
Yes,
talk about
it
Batman.
was.
Why is it that? Why is it
No.
that in
You're right.
Batman they got 20 minutes to introduce a brand new character, a compelling storyline, and wrap it up?
Because he had
Are
a
you talking
fucking
about
real
Mr.
good writer.
Freeze? Because they made that character just like...
Freeze, Harley Quinn,
Yeah,
various
no.
other ones. Why
Suddenly-
why is it that they could do that with 20 minutes, but when it comes to movies and all this other shit,
Well, you have too many fingers in the pot. You have too many fingers in the pot. Everybody wants to go ahead and make it their own thing, and you have too many people
that's
pulling this
probably
way and that.
that's
Usually,
fan art thing,
there's
wasn't it?
one person who's got a good vision for what the character should be,
There's
and
others that are freakier.
you know,
that's a little
the thing
more
is,
accurate to
then
what-
you get everybody else involved, and suddenly it turns out to be garbage. I mean,
But what made it? I want to. I'm just thinking about it right now because I'm kind of curious. Hypothetically, what would happen if the show either had a bad animation, good story, or good animation, which is Bruce Timm,
Yeah.
and bad story? Like, how, would the show still last or still be good? Because I think
I think it would have.
One of the-
it had
no.
a bad story, would not last.
no.
Yeah.
But even with the good
Nobody
animation,
looked
I
at
don't
it for
know.
the animation. But the thing is, we've come to appreciate the
Style,
simplicity of the
maybe.
animation.
yeah,
Because the stories were so good. We would rather, I mean, I think it's very clear that we as consumer would rather have a good story that, you know, that drives us to come back and want to hear more, rather than, you know,
As a kid, though?
animation. Oh my gosh, it's pretty. I've seen so many pretty
'Cause I-
things that do nothing.
but see the thing as a kid though. I kind of like the story. I mean, when
Oh,
I was
as a-
more, I was
as
more
a
mature when.
kid,
Well,
You were
but-
gonna watch because it's Batman.
Well, no, because the thing is, like, I kind of matured more when I started appreciating Beast Wars. That's the only time I actually cared about a story.
Yeah.
I mean, before that, like Batman, I was like, oh, that's cool, but honestly, I was more interested. I mean, looking back, the story is cool now. I mean, every single story was really good. Every single episode was good.
Right.
But the thing is, look when I was a kid, I was like, I'd rather see Batman do something fucking awesome.
Yeah,
And that's it. I didn't
think
care how
that
he got
as
to
a
A
kid-
to B.
As
to
a
do it,
kid,
looking good.
I always wanted to see who Batman would fight next. That's what I wanted to see. And I mean, the story was never, and I think this is a problem also with all the movies and everything today, is the story is never about Batman. As the viewer, we're going to a Batman movie, we know we're going to see Batman. And to be honest, Batman is a vehicle for us to see and experience his world. He doesn't seem, to be honest, and I know how people will disagree with this, but he doesn't seem all that interesting anymore because we are all
We know Batman is
know
already.
who he is, right? So what we want to see is the villains. What's somebody's take on a certain villain? Which villain is he going to fight? You know, I was hoping very much for Batman animated series that he would fight Azrael and that we would go ahead and see, you know, Nightfall happen in a Batman animated fashion. Really wanted to see that, but you know, it doesn't happen. But you think about things like Mr. Freeze, who's a cheesy old, you know, 1950s, I think, villain.
Yeah.
And
They actually rewrote
how
him,
he
right?
was rewritten, right, for the Batman animated series. And he was made into a sympathetic
Yeah, it's like-
character
he actually
that we
cared for
could
him.
actually like, oh my gosh, is Batman right here? This guy's got a really good point, a really strong motivation for doing what he does. It is voiced by Michael Ansara, which also just made him just freaking awesome. That voice is something that I don't think many people would forget. But yeah, taking something so obscure like Mr. Freeze used to be and making him amazing. And they did that almost consistently with every character they hit in Batman animated series. Maybe it's just the fact that, you know, I was at a certain age at a certain time, I was very impressionable, but
No, and they
they
still
didn't
hold
feel
up right
like,
now.
yeah, they didn't feel like they could do
Because
it
even
wrong.
now, you look at other interpretations of those characters, they overdo it. You know, you go back and it's like they were limited by the ratings
Yeah.
Yep.
and by time, and which is a good thing.
And-
You know, it made them more concise and like really down to the point of what the character's supposed to be.
Yeah, and
Now it's just like overblown. Like, well,
I
you know,
agree.
Mr. Freeze has a huge ass gun. And of course, Arnold's version
Yeah.
was like out of
But-
control.
Yeah,
I think they totally wrecked Harley Quinn.
I agree.
She was much more sympathetic and much more enjoyable watching animated series. But now it's just like,
Well, she has become a cash cow.
yeah.
When do you
So
think that started to
she
change
is-
that?
Huh?
When do you think that started to change?
I think the comics
Yeah.
really
Games.
'Cause that's when they blew her out.
Yeah.
Because I mean, every time until
When they started making pin-up artwork for them. and all that.
As soon as I started seeing her
DC
not
Comics
being
motions.
black and red instead of being
It's
red
like-
and blue, I'm like,
All
oh,
About the time they added the blue
visually,
costume.
this is not Harley anymore.
The thing is, like, she was really, she was pretty. They made her into a sympathetic character, right? Especially when she gets out of the Arkham Asylum
Yeah,
and all that.
Harley's Holiday.
Harley's Holiday.
Yeah,
Great
she's
episode.
she's in an abusive relationship, right?
Yep.
But now it's just more like it's almost. I almost feel like they just ignored all that. And then I'm going by the Suicide Squad movie because
Yeah.
that's all that people are going to remember her by now.
Yeah, it's
And you know now they're just
good
trying to make her
percentage.
into like this crazy badass, which is you know.
that's not her.
You know what's funny though? Even in the whole movie, like for just being a person with a fucking gun and a bat, she was the strongest one for some reason.
Yeah.
She could hold herself.
But that gun in the bat was the pop gun was really strong though.
Oh yeah, but no, it wasn't even. No, I'm talking about the
And
movie.
mountains. Oh yeah.
I'm not talking about that's different because that's the. I mean, that's just Joker type move.
Well, that's
But she had she just had a revolver and a bat.
yeah. The movie, just Suicide
It's
Squad movie was
unbelievable.
horrible. Dude. It's like
Her character doesn't make sense in a live
It's
action.
like-
If I saw this in a comic book or cartoon setting, it's like okay, I'll let it pass.
yeah, the comedy. You could.
It can be said of everything. The popular character always is like
But
Wolverine's not that strong. You could just throw him away, and then he'll take the rest of like the movie to come back.
Yeah, but who does that? Who
The-
can
but
throw
the
them
thing
away?
is-
He's a
Besides
guy
Apocalypse.
with very sharp knives. He's pretty strong.
Yeah, but then
He
like
can
he
heal fast, and he can smell real good.
He can also throw him in a pit of cement too, and he's
pretty
not gonna
heavy.
get out of that. So,
Well, he got
Well, no one writes it that way.
buried in
Yeah.
adamantium.
He
yeah.
does have strength though. He has to, right?
Yeah, he does. Oh, well,
His own.
Yeah,
moving
then,
around.
like,
He's just
Apocalypse
normal.
like killed him.
No, but it's not like
he
it's not
doesn't
like.
have superhuman strength.
But it's not like Spider-Man strong or something like
No, I
that.
think he
Yeah.
has above human strength.
No, he's human strength.
I liked
No,
him.
I think
I liked him.
Of all,
He's-
all the weight he's carrying around and his muscles keeps like regenerating.
To-
He's always building. He's always bulking up.
Well, I mean,
He
but
has
there's
cancer.
a limit to that, though. Like, as far as like,
He probably plateaus for sure.
Yeah.
But it's not saying he's just like normal human strength. He's not like Krillin or anything. He's pretty like.
I would say probably
He'll be-
peak human strength.
if we're talking
Yeah,
about like
yeah.
being able to like support something, I'm sure he could. Well,
No, I don't
don't
think
know.
about that.
See, I think
He can break
His
things.
bones probably could do it,
Well, yeah, his bones, yeah, but like
but his
muscles
ligaments
would be able
won't.
to-
But I mean, mean, almost every other X-Men around him is stronger and more powerful.
He doesn't
than
have
everyone.
it.
That's
People never
the
take that
thing
into
is, for some
consideration.
reason,
That's
we're
true.
still made to believe that Wolverine is more
tendons.
powerful and could take out all of
He's
the
not,
other
I mean-
X-Men.
I think what makes him
he's
look
not.
strong is that he heals during the fight when you see it.
The cool
Yeah,
thing
you know
about
who could take him
Wolverine
out
is
is
that
Jean
he's
Grey.
most probably the determined and pig-headed,
Jean Colossus
scrappy
and
guy there
Cooler,
is.
like,
Jean Grey can
everybody.
Jean Grey will take him out because all she has to say is like, "No, I'm not marrying you," and he's gonna be like, "Jean," and then he's gonna jump off a bridge.
No. That guy
Not
got teleported to the top of the building.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier. It's like most of the other X-Men could beat Wolverine pretty easily. I mean, stealth is Wolverine's forte because his senses are heightened. But
I want to
as
see
far
anyone
as
with mind control.
a,
Jean Grey.
a straight up
Oh,
fight,
that's right.
Cyclops looks at him and
Yeah,
boom,
But
you
how
know.
strong is that being?
We don't know that. See,
It's
like,
strong enough to take
no,
out
no,
his,
no, hold
arm.
on. You can't just say off the bat because
if it
his
can
beam.
pull off an adamantium like
His-
arm and here, then yeah, you're fine.
To be honest, his beam changes power for every
Every
specific
episode.
scenario.
That's true.
So-
like Wolverine's healing factor.
Yeah.
Suddenly now it's complete regeneration,
Yeah.
which
Like
was
Deadpool.
definitely not
They
what
fixed
it
it.
was.
They fixed it. It's back to he heals fast. It's not Deadpool regeneration.
But that's not Wolverine though. Isn't it?
boy.
Like just Logan? well, no, but like,
Well, no, go ahead. I mean, I wanna
Wolverine
hear it.
that is right now. Like that's
Yeah.
not Wolverine. That's isn't that like
Is it an imposter?
I mean, that's the.
Wait, is that his name? Is
Is
his
it
name?
old Wolverine or what?
His name is not even
yeah,
Logan,
it's,
right?
yeah, it's not like the
It isn't,
Wolverine,
huh?
young
He
Wolverine.
died.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's old man Logan, so that's probably why his regeneration isn't as good as what it was.
Well, it is as good as it was in the 70s.
Well, yeah.
It only took him till
I
2000
like-
something to be
I
bad.
like
Yeah.
Wolverine when he could die. It brought drama to it and everything.
When did he
You
die?
know, when
Apocalypse
A couple
killed
of
him.
years ago.
Was it Apocalypse that killed him?
No, it was.
Well, didn't they kill him in the Days of Future Past?
no.
He was already dead.
oh, he was already dead.
It
You
was
saw his
Magneto
skeleton.
that should have killed him. I mean, he totally had him right there. Like,
Well, Magneto could kill him too, right?
yes, of course he can.
Everybody could kill him.
Pull the adamantium off his bones and like turn it into a ball and then squish him down to like this size and be like,
So then what is it? Is it just a Hugh Jackman effect that he's such a popular
Well,
actor?
Hugh Jackman can't die.
Yeah. So is that why they made him so powerful?
No.
no,
he was
he's
powerful.
popular. He's
Is that
just
even the
popular.
show?
He's popular.
He was popular. It's how they do things. When some character gets popular, they become suddenly way more powerful. Like Harley Quinn, which is where we started from.
like Iron Man.
Well,
Yeah?
Iron Man has a little bit of
Yeah. Well, to me-
like a MacGuffin device,
Well,
just because he's
To
so
me,
smart.
that guy
It's-
is an
it's-
alcoholic.
But it's weird though because
Technological alcohol.
he's. But every time he like in the whole Iron Man 3 where he had no suit,
Yeah.
like he didn't seem vulnerable at all. He still can handle everything.
Well, that's because he had a lot of charisma.
The
And
thing
so-
is-
Charisma doesn't
and-
equate to strength.
Well, I know,
From
but
what I
I mean,
understood
like,
that
fighting appeal.
but he like talked his way out of
Look at
things.
Arnold.
He didn't have
That's
internal
Arnold.
weakness until like
But-
Iron Man 3 when he had the.
But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about he was out of his suit for the majority of the movie.
Yes,
the-
blowing up microwaves and stuff to survive.
Yeah, and he's fighting those weird radiation guys. So I don't know how you like.
The point is, in the comic books, Tony Stark was a weak individual.
Yes, very.
Right.
He only became super with the
He's
armor.
at death's door, pretty much.
Yeah. So I mean,
Well, one of his quotes
So
from
what's
one of
the
the
point?
cards.
that's the point.
He's so strong. Iron Man's strong.
Yeah, no, but what I'm
Iron
saying
Man
is,
was-
he's,
no, but he-
he's overpowered.
No, it's what he meant. It's like the more popular you are, the stronger you get.
Yeah.
One of his one of his quotes from
Well, it's kinda hard to dispute. I mean,
the
it's
early
kinda-
90s, and
Like
during-
Harley Quinn, it's
Yeah.
like,
She
more
shouldn't
power.
be. Yeah, she's just a person.
That thing is just a bat, dude.
Go ahead, Lewis.
Okay,
Oh
sorry.
no, I'm saying like it's Tony Stark is like obviously like he's Iron Man like, but only with the suit. Like he's not like without. There's a quote that he says like a superhero would the world really think that if they knew the frail like mortal man that lived inside the shell.
Mhm.
He didn't think a lot of himself.
Uh-huh.
Like he was like he was like
He is
substance abuser. He drank a lot.
Yeah.
substance abuser, womanizer,
Yeah. But
and yeah, he is
It's-
not.
If they reboot the whole MCU, I
More
think
than
that'd be a
likely
really
will.
good character study for
What,
Iron Man.
Yeah.
For the obviously new teenage Tony Stark that's going to come on the scene.
Or I don't know. I'm just saying that that to me that would be a more compelling movie.
Yeah.
To see someone like Tony Stark, that frail,
Dealing with
You know what's
like,
scary though?
trying to, beat
What's-
somebody.
What's scary about that is like, let's say they do. Well, it'd be kind of funny because history would repeat itself. Let's say they do redo it, right? Because prior to that, Iron Man 1 was the one that started it all. You gotta start it again with Iron Man. Let's assume there's another Iron Man, and it's gonna go and be this realistic tone, right?
Iron Man forever.
But like, imagine having this realistic tone, right? So, for instance, like, now that let's say that movie comes out, becomes popular, hey, we're seeing the real human aspect of Tony Stark, blah blah. That's just gonna start a wave of everyone's gonna be flawed, and it's just gonna be the same old constantly.
But I thought a lot of the superheroes were flawed.
Well, yeah, but it's gonna be one-dimensionally flawed. Like,
But they
everyone's
don't-
gonna have.
I'll say
He's a sexual predator. He's gonna
the Marvel
find a way
Cinematic
out of it.
Universe.
Well, what about
The Marvel Cinematic Universe has downplayed the flaws of these
because
characters.
it is Hollywood.
Yeah, right.
Well, and David's right. They
The
downplay
Mar-
the flaws a lot to the
Marvel
point that
Cinematic-
they're cookie cutter almost.
Yeah, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has downplayed a lot of the flaws of the Marvel characters that
Yeah.
made them special.
I'm pretty sure. It would
Iron
hinder
Man.
the narrative of the whole thing, though, if they did that, right?
But
No, Doctor Strange is an asshole in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I was glad until dude.
But-
I was waiting until someone busted his calves or broke his leg. Same with Professor Xavier in First Class.
Yeah.
When I saw him walking, he was like, "This guy's too much of an asshole. He's too like someone
Yeah,
chop his
he
legs
got
off
it-
already.
He got it at the end of the movie.
Get humbled."
But
Yeah,
I mean,
no. What do you think of Stephen Strange though in the movie?
That shit was hilarious. Actually, you know what? One, I thought it was hilarious that he got fucked up.
You're like, haha, serves
Yeah,
you
it's
right, you
about
dumb
time.
son of a bitch.
Second of all, I wish he was actually in a spy movie or James Bond because that's how good it looked. Actually, he can pull it off.
Yep.
I don't know, but going with Dave's point though, it's like I think it would give those movies a lot more depth if they actually showed the character flaws. But I understand that's not the purpose of the
They
movie.
do
The-
banner.
The purpose of the movie is to sell toys and to sell more movie tickets.
Sure.
It's to make you feel good.
Yeah.
You go into those Marvel movies and you have what feeling at this point to expect from them. You're going to go in there. You're going to have fun. There's going to be, a lot of action. They're going to go through some trials. And you're going to come out of it all right.
I'd rather prefer for me it would feel more enjoyable if I could see some guy go from like the literal dumps and maybe take like 2 movies to get to the point where like
Yeah,
this
just
guy's
watch Hancock.
pull off Will Smith. But I mean, I'd rather see that.
Well, hey, if they
Because I mean,
if they end up
okay,
doing
good.
better,
Well, I
right?
mean, I think
no,
I think that's why I liked.
Eddie's life is
That's why I really loved Captain America. Because you got
you got fucked over all the time, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he was literally the little guy
Mhm.
who started from nothing, and nobody wanted him, and then suddenly he
They got steroids
became
and-
something. Of course, they didn't do his stories afterward. The Rip Van Winkle. I wish they'd done more with the Rip Van Winkle aspect of Captain America, because that
Awesome powers.
huh? I think that's
Absolutely.
one of the very important aspects of him.
They just sort of glance right.
That they just kind of glanced right over. Was like, oh yeah, here's a notebook. These are things I still need to experience. Da 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 da. But yeah, I don't know. They could have had a lot of fun with it. We all know Ant-Man's a wife beater, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, at least Hank.
He's
Pym
broken this one.
was.
That's good.
Seeing as how his
No,
wife.
so they decided to go with Scott Lang because they're like, no, we don't want to tackle that on the screen. Let's go with.
They
Scott
showed
Lang.
that too in the cartoon. The one with
Well,
one of the Avengers cartoon, they actually showed Hank Pym being like an asshole, like true up like asshole.
Yeah.
So it's kind of amazing.
and
Yeah, as Yellow Jacket was an asshole.
Yeah.
If you saw
and
They touched on it very briefly in the Ant-Man movie, though.
Wasp is kind of a horror. She can be.
it. Well, yeah.
Well, do you remember that though in the movie
Huh.
when
That's kind of weird, man.
they were talking
We're
to-
talking about this stuff, and I have a feeling that they might actually go that route where they might actually go that route later on, where they just might make it hyper realistic and have these real problems. Maybe after it's over, the universe actually ends.
Yeah.
But it'd be kind of cool to see. I'd be like the coolest thing to see. But I don't think social media is kind of ready for it. It should be though.
See, that's what I think they did do pretty well with, like Iron Man 1. You kind of felt for Tony Stark quite a bit more back then and
Yeah.
everything, because he went through some real problems. He did learn, okay, my company has been selling a bunch of weapons. Okay, now I'm shot full of holes and I'm in a cave and I'm gonna die. You know,
Yeah.
it
That part was cool, actually.
It was like, whoa.
That was pretty humbling.
It was pretty humbling. But I think that one of the things that made Iron Man 1 so successful is we felt for his plight. And when he actually turned it into something positive, we were like, damn, right there with him.
Yeah.
You know? The thing is, people like to see heroes triumph through adversity. And that's one of the things about Steve Rogers in the first, Captain America movie. He is...
First Avenger is my favorite, straight up.
Yeah.
I think that it's better than the others. The others are a lot of political intrigue and a lot of action. And a lot of Sam Jackson sitting in an SUV because his contract says you have to be on screen for a certain amount of time. To the point where they have a life meter for the amount of armor his SUV has while they're shooting at it.
What?
It was.
Remember Winter Soldier?
I remember the movie, but I don't remember that.
Yeah.
He was stuck
Right,
there,
I guess.
and his Jeep was sitting there, and he'd like dig a hole through the bottom of the Jeep to like get to like the sewer grate.
They were shooting at his vehicle, and his vehicle had like a life bar of like armor percent going down and everything as they were shooting at it.
Which is pretty much time till his contract is fulfilled. Or on-screen time.
That's pretty
But
good.
I mean, that was a little nuts. It was a very good movie in a lot of ways, political intrigue and everything like that. But the thing is, I don't think that Captain America learned anything from it. Well, I think he learned
I
how to
think
trust
that
his
was
country.
it was good for the audience because it made you realize Captain America isn't just a government stooge per se.
He wanted to
like all this bad stuff. That, he wanted to be and everything, but he saw injustice and he just his. It's really bothering me.
The what?
What's up?
That thing. Go ahead.
Behind your head. You might want to move a little
Is
bit.
that a bug or no?
That is a bug.
Okay. What the fuck's he doing up here?
It went from there to here.
Bugs can fly. They can climb.
Yeah, but who brought it in, Lewis?
What?
What? All that goddamn chicken.
They're completely autonomous.
Okay. Looking back.
Should wrap it up though. It's almost like 4 o'clock.
Oh yeah. So to conclude that part and everything, that's what I liked about.
That's what I like about Marvel.
The second Cap movie, what was it called? Winter Soldier. Yeah. It was pretty much just there to say, hey, this character is he might be American character, but
Too bad. At least Winter Soldier, at least all the Captain America movies so far are probably like the best things I've seen in my life.
Yeah, they're good.
They're fucking just good.
I don't know about.
So what I like more though is the fact that.
Oh, dude, I keep on forgetting that Civil War is not an Avengers movie.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck.
It should have been. That's pretty much what it was, dude.
Every time I think about
No,
it,
actually,
like,
Me too.
the way people like it so much, it feels more like it was Civil War is more of a Black Panther movie.
oh yeah.
Civil
God,
War
that
was
movie had a
not
problem, I think.
I don't know.
Excuse me.
Overall, it was not a good
Rudy
movie.
got extreme
It was a lot
spinal
of things, a lot of
damage.
spectacle we wanted to see, but ultimately, storyline wise, come on, the whole thing to make Tony fight Steve at the end. Oh yeah, see, here's your parents getting killed from this perfectly placed camera that you can see everything clearly, even nice close-ups, and this was technology from the
80s?
mid-1980s and
Yeah.
everything, and you can see everything clearly, so Tony can know exactly what's going on. You're like, oh gosh, this is all, just to make that plot. They're really forcing
Sort
this,
of makes sense.
just forcing this fight between Tony and Steve. And
That sounds like a Marvel thing to do.
So-
No, we're gonna have
they
a
did
fight.
that in the comics, they changed Tony to make him antagonist so they would fight. But
The Civil War movie was about,
making money?
off of the damn name, but it was about protecting. Was it Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or was it about the people that died in the building? I mean, I think that was like the catalyst for why they began.
Yeah, well, it was about the people that died in the building in the first 10 minutes of the movie. Then after that, it's just, okay, it's
Oh yeah, we're protecting Bucky.
Because the thing that really grinds my gears about that movie is like, Tony Stark's, innocent people are dying, blah, 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 kids, and this, let me recruit a kid. to fight my battles for me.
Even though I hate the government, I'm pro-government with this, which I've shown that I'm anti-government control in every other film that I've been in.
Yeah.
They were basically
I'm just trying to tell
changing
you
the
world
characters to make
peace.
fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
much like the original Civil War. But at least he had a better reason. Well, he had a greater reason for fighting in the comic than he did in the movie, because in the comic it was about like shit, like we can't, like all those kids that died, that whole city that got blown up. I don't get me wrong, like I don't like what they did with this character after.
What?
Yeah, for the
What's
original
wrong with the
Civil War,
Wakandan embassy being blown up? Isn't it almost the same as blowing up kids?
it is.
Maybe. No, it isn't.
When
you blow up kids-
that was a whole city, and it was for nothing too.
Yeah.
It was for a dumb reality TV show.
Okay, that is, yeah. For some reason, they might not have wanted to blow up kids in the movie.
Disney.
Yeah.
But see, but going back to that, that's what I'm thinking about. It's like why they wouldn't want to even do anything of the sort about having those characters. They don't want to make them problematic, like having like actual real issues, like domestic abusers or anything like that. Because social media is gonna tear it up once they know them. Once they know like if the movie, if they make the movie and don't even show previews or anything, that'd be good. Then they'll see the movie raw as what people want to see it as.
Mm-hmm.
But now since they have social media, if you're gonna try to preview movies way ahead of time, like, hey, check out this character, he's a womanizer and he beats women.
Mm-hmm.
He's my hero. But see, I think people are like, what the fuck is this character for?
Yeah.
Then you're never gonna have the character that's true to life or what you really want to see and whatever the comic portrayed, because you're not gonna have.
It's a very what's that word I'm looking for? It's very
Could we have even gotten away with that back then?
Huh?
neutered.
It's very
Probably.
tailored. Yeah,
Maybe-
it's
maybe-
neutered
maybe
for
late
anything
70s.
that might
but
be
to make him
controversial.
oh,
That's
so
why I want to see
70s.
Deadpool
Yeah, I'm not talking about like 80s.
Yeah.
Because
But like to make him endearing
gives
though.
us
Well, I hate to be George Costanza about this, but I think Disney and Pixar is coming out with the Day of the Dead inspired movie.
Oh yeah,
Coco.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I'm just
Looks
saying, Nintendo.
Not just regular Saiyan, not Super Saiyan.
No, it's funny too. It actually looks
I'm
pretty
just
cool.
saying Nintendo.
Oh, because of
Hey, no, it doesn't matter. The main character's not wearing a sombrero, so it's all right.
oh god.
The whole universe has to be can be stereotypical. The character can't.
Yeah.
Hey, it's hard to stereotypical when you're a skeleton.
We're talking about Mario sombrero, dude.
Yeah, because they took out. Well, first of all, people complain about the sombrero he has.
They did?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that was
they're
They took
complaining
it-
it's a cultural appropriation.
Yeah,
They
that was
took it
like-
out?
yeah. Well, no,
Well,
they
they
took
took
it off the
cover.
cover. It's not on the cover
Okay.
anymore. But they were making a big stink about it.
But it's in the game store.
Yeah, it's only game.
Yeah.
Thank God. But
But
no,
if you watch IGN's like little preview of the game during E3,
Yeah.
and they don't even call it a sombrero. They don't refer to anything. It's just
Everybody
like
is afraid.
they're like, oh, here's Mario's outfit in that world, right? Oh, and look, here's his hat, and you can do this stuff with his hat. He can like throw us a frisbee. I'm just
You're
like,
afraid of that one or handful of people to just yell at.
they're afraid of those watchdogs.
They just yell at.
because that's all they
You can't
do.
do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess
But
we
my
can't.
thing is just like the thing is just like they're complaining about that hat, right? And here you go, they're making a Day of the Dead movie, Pixar is, which is really cool, But even Grim Fandango or other stuff like that, It's like, what's wrong with that? But then you can't make like a freaking Mario wearing a hat or sombrero is bad.
I got a question for
Yeah.
you guys. Do you think?
Last one, by the way.
Okay, well, this is kind of ties into what's kind of going on with current events and everything. With all like obviously things have become like a lot more PC like within the last few years.
Yeah.
Like very PC.
Yeah, that's a good
Everybody's
question.
afraid with social media to
Yeah.
step outside the lines.
It's only been in the past 3 years. I need to do some research as to why it is, but
It's just the internet, man.
But do you
But the
think?
internet's been around.
But no,
Facebook's been around for a while too.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Finish your
I'm
question.
sorry.
I want to explain
With
somewhere afterwards.
With what
Yeah.
is going on now, like in Charlottesville and everything like that, do you
Oh, yeah.
think it will, like after all the dust settles with what's going on over there and everyone starts singing Kumbaya again, do you think it'll be even worse than it is right now?
To do a movie like that, or
No.
or
Just how things are like very PC, like the general like language of everyone is. Oh,
But-
you can't say things.
So you're saying it might be more PC.
I think
I could say, you know what?
it's-
I honestly, in my opinion, I think it's going to stay the same. Except I think Kawashi isn't going to be any better or worse. I think it's going to be exactly what it is now. People should still be bitching. There's not going to be any crazier. I mean, I don't think we're going to get to a point where
it's going to be like more so like people are like, shh, I really can't, say
maybe celebrities and maybe people are public speakers, but I don't think it's going to be like that.
I think it's going to get worse.
I think so too.
I think it's going to get worse
as worse as it gets
because
it's only going to get worse when we actually get muted out from
The reason why I think it's going to get worse is because obviously we're a capitalistic society.
Yeah.
We're all about capitalism, and we all know that if you want to make a business, you leave politics out of business, right?
Yeah.
So you want to always, you want as much money as possible. So you want everybody to buy your product, right?
Then you pull out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can't. Oh well. This thing, people are gonna, even though it's gonna be like 5 people on the internet, they're gonna complain about, the inappropriateness of this thing. So I better switch it right now.
Yeah.
Or the fact because I want my buyer's market,
I want
to
the
be as
whole
large
market.
as possible.
As soon as you say I like green, and I hate
As
purple,
soon as you say you hate something,
Yeah.
immediately that
Those people-
closes off all those
Yeah.
people to you.
and that's what I'm saying. It's going to get worse,
Yeah.
and it's because these people want to make money.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why, and I think that's why social media is that way. That's why IGN is, I'm not going to call it sombrero, and this and that, and that's why the Ghostbusters movie was all like, oh, we got to play it safe with with the content of the movie.
Sure.
It's because they want to get all the
The
people.
backlash, yeah.
And that's what sucks though, is because people, I feel like all these companies, movies, anything, whatever, dude, they gotta grow a backbone. It's just like, hey, this is what we believe in. And if it's gonna cut our market from here, okay, well, we're not that greedy. We're still gonna be making our money here.
Sure.
And that's the thing. It's like people, the gun makers, dude, they already know what their market is, so they can go ahead and say whatever they want. So it's not like
Yeah, that's like a tool though.
That's a tool. Yeah, but anyways, point is,
It's not like a.
and that's what sucks about the media though. It's just like, we need to make all our money as possible because everything, all the media, all entertainment is spread out to YouTube and everything. It's not like cable television when there's only 100 channels and that's all you have to watch, right? So people get away with seeing whatever they want. Now it's just like, I need as much share as possible, so I'm going to appeal to everybody, and that's what sucks. So and like I said, it's going to get worse. They're just going to be like, and I think that's why. I'm not going to use SJW as a pejorative term because I don't think it should be used as a pejorative term, but I think that's what empowers people that like the watchdogs, right? The ones that bark the loudest, to just pick out anything. Oh, like who's that one guy that was saying that? People don't want to be referred as a she or a he, but like a C or that's the thing now. It's like people want to be.
It's been a thing for a while.
But what about
it? But anyways, point is, it's just like I think a lot of people are just taking little things, and now that you have the internet and Facebook, you can blow that up and make it a bigger issue than what it's supposed to be.
Because you got that mob mentality. Again,
Yeah.
this is why I wanted to say earlier is the fact that Twitter, Instagram, anything social media that's free to actually access, and all it is a platform to say whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention you can connect to everybody through hashtags. It's so fucking easy to make pretty much a big chat room. So all it takes really is just like one guy to slip up, say something, and then you get it on Twitter, and then you got people complaining about it. But the reason why, at least nowadays though, I think because of that, the Twitter shit or all like the social media, I don't think we can actually, what's the word? You can't. What is it? You can't really do what you want to do, like at least for like when you want to do a business or anything, or just like make something creative, because they're going to be there just looking at, or they're going to be waiting for you to slip up and say something or make something like let's say for instance, I don't want to make.
That's why I hate social media. I think that if I could say something,
and that's why I deleted my Facebook.
You know how easy it is for people to mistake something that you
That's
say.
the thing, yeah.
But they're easy.
But see what that the thing is,
Even if it's a misspelling, they're going to take it.
You can't reel it back. Even if you try to say, "Oh no, I just misspelled it. I can't edit it."
The thing is,
no one's gonna go out. No one's gonna say, "Fuck you." You said this. You're a white supremacist, or you're a Nazi, or you're racist.
And then they go ahead. Sometimes they'll go ahead and create a group that will call into somebody's work if they know who you are. And
it's what's called the Order 66U.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just shit like that. It's like really annoying. It's like especially, and this is what really bugs me about creative stuff because, let's say for instance, when people make a game or a movie, you can't make a game or a movie's like, hey, I want this predetermined story. You're going to be a male. He's going to do this, and this is what's going to happen. And let's say I release that information to the public. Hey, how come I can't be a female?
Yeah.
How come you can't just write this? It's like, that's not my
The
story.
thing
My
is,
story is this is what I wrote.
This is-
if
yeah.
you guys don't like me, I don't have to appeal. And I'm not here to for you guys. I'm just making a narrative of something that I like.
And it should be that way.
It
And
should
I think these people that write these stories in these movies,
They water down games.
They should stick to the guns.
It does.
Who cares if they're going to lose that market? Then lose it. But stick to your guns, dude.
But the thing, you can't though. I mean, it's
No.
hard because
Okay,
they
you know
feel.
what? Look at like Donald Trump, right?
Yeah.
You know, he says so many unpopular things, but that guy is still making money.
Oh yeah.
You know, if anything, I respect him for that because he sticks to it. Even though I don't agree with a lot of things he says, dude, the thing is, he still says it and he still has his businesses, right? That goes to show that,
Nothing pulled him down yet.
yeah, you can see, you know,
Until, yeah.
you can say whatever you want. To
Yeah,
do.
I understand. Yeah, the saying what you want to say without
But the thing is,
without fear of like the backlash, because you know he's like shit.
By no means do I agree with everything.
Oh no, I know.
The thing is, though,
but you're saying that you admire the fact that he can say without being afraid, without being fake or smiling through your
because he's doing him.
Yes, as opposed to a person that's like, hey, I'm all for equality, even though it's really about you know,
the business front.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a front. It's like the it's like the ball players.
On
Like
that front, I dig it. No,
The-
I'd rather much have someone that will tell me the truth to my face, so I can fight them head on,
Yeah.
instead of
Not even fight them head on. Just maybe come to a compromise with the same ideas.
Or just don't watch. It's like, hey, you know what? I don't believe with this guy's views, and I'm
Sometimes
just not going
good.
to watch it though.
Try it.
It's like for example, the like all the NFL owners right now, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go on a ballpark on here and say that a lot of them are probably like conservatives or right wing, and whatever. That's cool. I'm almost certain because they make a lot of money and whatnot. But the thing is, like I know they have certain beliefs that don't reflect the projected beliefs that they have in the that their teams project, right?
Sure.
Well, I mean,
And they're doing that because if they came out with their own beliefs, they're like, oh, we'll lose ticket sales, right? But I don't think people are going to care. Look at the Redskins. The Redskins are still called the Redskins, and people are still watching the games.
Yeah, how much longer?
Kids like them, not because the teams.
And also, I feel
about that though.
But also, I feel like remember the guy the owner of the Clippers.
That's
Oh,
that's
yeah,
where
the
just where I was
Clippers.
going.
So
yeah.
man, so
But
all that stuff that happens in private, and mind you,
He's
the
not
woman,
the
woman's a
He's not
gold digger,
owning
but that's all right because no one really. She's just doing her job apparently. That's
yeah.
but that she gets a pass for being a scoundrel. So
But that's the thing, though. I think they were out to get him, dude.
yeah, but they were, and then at the same time, it's like, dude, it's in his private setting, and at the same time, none of what he says reflects on what the team does. No one on the team. I'm pretty sure people on the team already heard him talk like that to begin with, but they're just there. That's their job.
They're like, oh shit, this actually got out. We gotta no.
Yeah.
This
But
is-
see, honestly, it's like I may hate my owner, but it's like I'm here for the team. I'm not really representing the owner because the owner doesn't really do much as at least that guy for instance.
Yeah, that's like how our country is right now with the president.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, like, he just dislikes, black people for, right? But the thing is, look how old he is too. Look what type of generation he came from.
Yeah.
And that's probably most of the owners to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
No, we're
Not
talking
Trump,
about
this other-
Donald Sterling.
Donald Trump is he should know better at least at this point. But
Yeah.
Donald
Like-
Sterling, he's like 100 years old.
Yeah, dude, that guy looks like his
The-
face is about to melt off.
But that's the
He
thing,
looks like
though.
well, the bad guy from Captain Planet, the fat guy with the pig nose.
Oh,
Kinda.
that guy. I remember
Yeah.
that.
But it's funny though. It's just like, dude, it's like the writing was on the wall. They were out to get that guy, dude.
Yeah.
Why is it all of a sudden it's like when they were going the witch hunt, which it's an appropriate term to use at this point.
Yeah.
Why is it all of a sudden Magic Johnson is pulling together money to buy the franchise? I'm like, what the? It's like he still owns the
Yeah.
franchise.
You know what's funny? It's like that's all just sensationalism news again, right after.
Yeah. Or
any little-
it was called news treatment or entertainment.
Because I mean, any time like once that bad news flared up, everyone wants to latch onto it and have their name tied to it and do the virtual signaling for themselves.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, it's like, let's get him out of here, guys. It's like I want to buy the team off. Let's get a whole group of guys because he's a bad guy. Let's
Dude,
It's like, dude.
It was so funny.
It's like
all the owners were just like, we do not stand for this. This is
But
not
dude,
good.
a lot of those owners believe the same
man.
way.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know, dude. I know. I was like,
Hey
yo,
man,
so-
whatever
And
saves
you
their
know
own
what?
ass, right?
I know, but still.
But that's
I
how
would
it is.
respect them more
Yeah.
if they came out and with the true colors. You know?
Or maybe if they just said, you know, look, it was
You know
his
what?
personal life. This was his thing. Maybe you shouldn't be so rough. I mean, don't get me wrong.
It's funny you mentioned that because
obviously-
I'm pretty sure the NBA wouldn't. People still be watching the NBA.
Yeah, they would.
All of them did.
And here's the thing, though. It's like with the whole Kaepernick thing, right?
Yeah.
Like how the NAACC, what's his name?
He's not even a football player.
Jesse Jackson. They're trying to call for a ban on the NFL.
Yeah.
And it's like, no one cares. I mean, there's people
Wait,
cares,
there's
but now you know what?
Why?
People care.
Why are they?
Yes, Kaepernick doesn't have a job. And there's other...
They want him, just because of what he's doing, then people want him to have that job.
Yeah.
It's almost
Why?
like Tebow winning the playoff games for a bit.
Why? Because
And
he's
everyone-
like mixed? Is
No, because he's doing the activist thing where I'm not going to
Yeah,
stand
that
up
is.
during the national anthem, which is kind of spreading, which makes sense. He can do whatever he wants, right?
The thing is, it's a hotly contested, or a hotly debated thing on the internet, right?
Uh-huh.
And this and that. But people are still watching the games, and people are still going to the
Yeah.
games. So when people are
People are
saying,
still standing up.
"Well, if you're gonna blah 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 blah," you know, green people, we're not gonna go to your games. So I'm gonna get everybody. Dude, I want these corporations to call these people on their bluffs.
Yeah.
Because, you know, sure, only like a handful, 100 people will show up to protest or not. The Turtlesville thing, dude, has been blown out of proportion. There was only like 100 people there when I saw that the drone thing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, and then the you know, obviously what the guy did, he was not all there. You know, he was like a bipolar or something. You know, he did a terrible thing.
Well, the
right?
guy with actual mental illness.
Yeah, the guy that hit the
Or car, yeah.
person, right?
Uh-huh.
But dude, it was. What would happen? They were just going to another part of the town, right? And the thing is,
No,
it's
they
like,
were. It was just a rally, like a legitimate white supremacist rally.
white nationalism.
Yeah, but it's the same. It's kind of the same deal. But that was actually the group. It wasn't alt-right. It wasn't anything like that. It was actually that group. But that's why it got blown out of proportion because they think anyone that was there, even supporting that, or just I guess even like spy centers are not even part of it. They're all part of the umbrella. Hey, these are all bad.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't. And it's funny too. You can't defend the right to freedom of speech unless you're a Nazi as well, which doesn't make any sense because, I mean. Even if these people are hateful,
Well,
I don't
the
give a fuck
thing-
if they can
the
think
thing
about
is,
it.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, but it's all you know. It's all there. It's all hearsay. Or it's all opinion from what they say and what they want to preach.
Yeah.
And if some guy gets influenced, but that's their fault.
I agree. I believe.
But it's your choice.
I believe it. I believe in the freedom of speech, and these people that were protesting the taking down of the General Lee statue, they actually got
Antifa guys.
no. It was the nationalist people. They were protesting the removal of the statue,
Oh, I
right?
see.
And they got a permit to do it. So they were there legally, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think it was going to, you know, I don't think it was going to amount to any violence, right? And then, okay, what they call Antifa people showed up, right? And you know what? Okay, they could have pressed it.
Anti-fascist, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. So
No, but think about it when you say when you hear that word because they're the ones that actually want to apply fascism.
but that's what's going on, and I think the thing is, it's like
Yeah, they're anti-fascist.
the thing is it took that guy with the bipolar, you know, disorder to wreck it for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, it was just if that never happened, then we would never, you know.
I mean, we would have heard about it, but
all
be
these statues would have been taken down.
yeah, it would have been a big
Yeah.
deal. And then it's all
Yeah.
Trump's fault.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I understand.
The way he handled it
well,
wasn't the best.
that's a different story altogether.
Yeah.
That's on Trump. But when it comes down to the fact that it all ties to him, is kind of wrong, in my opinion.
yeah,
That's
he's
just a strong
obviously
man at that
he's
point.
an easy mark. I mean,
Yeah.
But like going back to Jan's thing, I think a lot of liberals are becoming fascists. I mean, if not, they already are.
yeah.
Google.
I've heard that for
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah, I mean,
YouTube.
You know, and the thing is like, it sucks. It's like, especially in university and like.
that's the worst, actually.
Well, no, and I'll say though too, it's like I feel like you can't really have a conservative opinion in a university or a right wing opinion, even though
All the kids are getting kicked out right
even
now.
yeah, even if you could back it up with
It's
facts.
very unpopular.
No one cares about the facts.
Yeah,
That's
but the
sad.
thing is like. That's the thing that, you know, like last semester I had my philosophy professor. He was he's a Republican and everything, and you know he has his own views. But I respected the heck out of him. You know, not that I agree with a lot of them, but at least dude, he was brave enough to talk about it in front of class.
Sure.
And, and made, good points and, back him up.
But see, that's the thing, though, like, a lot of people don't think like that. They don't think, you know what, I'm going to take what he's going to say, and it's not, and what he's saying is not insulting, it's not threatening or anything. He's not talking to you, he's just talking about his own beliefs of his own worldview. But no one understands that because they think, oh, no, you're a Nazi, you're out to get me, I'm going to try to hurt you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You're right.
I don't know, but that's what bugs me the most because honestly, that's why you see all these like conservative people trying to go to like these like Berkeley, for instance. Like it's a mile ago. I mean, granted, what he said earlier, whatever.
I want to go to Berkeley. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, there's people that try to go there, and they always now they're trying to find them. It's like, oh yeah, or actually recently, I think they said like for like Ben Shapiro or something like that, they said, oh yeah, the scheduling's kind of out of whack. You have to cancel your show because you don't have the scheduling for it or whatever. So they're like in a way they're trying to find ways to avoid him or make him avoid coming to Berkeley.
So essentially, people with a more conservative point of view are being kind of pushed out of being able to talk.
Just speak, but I mean, and it's not the fact like it's funny too because it's just those conservative people. But see, the thing is like everybody on the not all liberals like maybe like the super. The radical liberals, they assume everything that's conservative or beyond anything that's right, it's automatically Nazism or anything. So they generalize everybody as conservative. Either way, a lot of conservative people are just we just want to make things work.
I think, and to add to that point, I think what was going on is that perhaps places like Berkeley don't want to have these conservative rallies or talks because they know that these radical liberals are going to come and start ruckus.
That's a possibility. They could just incite violence.
But then again, like at the same time, it's like why not say that that's the case? Like we saw these
they'll assassinate all the leaders of Berkeley. They'll go after them. Dude.
But see, that's what's funny. It's like if that does happen, I mean, I don't know. I'm just really upset about the whole thing because you got these people that want to say, oh yeah, we want anti-Nazi, anti-fascist, but they're doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
The other way around, and it's just really sad when you see it and from the outside looking in, and you're like, dude, what the fuck are these people like? Who taught these people
if
these
you got
things?
an unpopular point of view, you should be able to speak. This is America, and
but
you should, right?
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that
be afraid of speaking.
But the fact that people get physical against other like people that are just talking, it's just like and then get super upset when they start blurting out these other factoids that are not even right or correct. They're just yelling at these people, hey, you're Nazi, do you hate humans, or you didn't, like, dude, this person's not saying anything about that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like, why do you even...
They get triggered, that's where,
But again, they just use their soapbox, huh?
What are they saying now?
Oh, the conservatives?
Yeah.
Oh, they're just talking about, like, pretty much about liberals and how, all the stuff they shouldn't be doing. Like, we should be more, worried about our own self, our own family values and whatnot. And just having to, actually progress in life instead of just complaining about things.
Sure.
Think about, because money, you can get money and everything, but that's not really the whole objective. Just try to, make everything work in the air. Actually, no, I think the real thing is that everyone has to work for themselves to help the whole country and stuff.
Yeah, and I think a lot of them, I know some conservative talkers, they imply a lot of facts. Yeah. They use facts, and sometimes those facts are they're not pretty, they're ugly, but they're facts. And I think an extreme liberal would those just ignore it.
Yeah.
And they'll go with their agenda.
They have to take it as a threat and spin it in their own way and ask them why do you think of this? It must make you a Nazi or you hate blacks, you hate Mexicans.
Both extremes are bad.
Yeah. No, that's the truth. And it's like, but no one wants to admit it.
And what's sad about the Bay Area though? It's just that
it's a bubble.
I feel it's a bubble. I feel like you're walking on eggshells. Well, maybe
not. That's how I felt like in San Francisco, to be honest.
Maybe not in where I live right now, but like Daniel says, up in San Francisco, or if you're working in the tech community and all that, you're walking on eggshells, dude. They're inclusive only if you agree and believe it with what they agree with.
Interesting.
They're inclusive, but they're not. They're not inclusive. Dude.
Sure.
And then it's just. It really annoys me because I feel like it's only in places like the Bay Area or New York or super liberal metropolitan areas and towns. Mm-hmm. Because I'm sure if you go to a really conservative town or city, it's probably not that way. I don't think they push their values. I mean, I'm sure they say God bless you and
there are places that are on either end of the spectrum.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's places that push.
You're right. Maybe I'm generalizing a little bit, but
But I mean, we gotta understand.
But I haven't been there, so
yeah. But I mean,
we all are in the Bay Area, so
yeah.
we see the one end of the spectrum, and
It's a
we don't
bubble
see as
of
much as
misery.
the other.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, but at the
Yeah,
same time, it's also really scary when you actually see like the actual racism and stuff like that. And it's know, and it's funny because like when there's people that people proclaim these are all racist, like you don't really see it. They don't really speak to you like in a way that they are. But when you see a real racist, it's like a whole different. It's a whole different thing. It's like, whoa, this guy eats this. And it's just we're seeing
I think that
real racist.
a lot of the younger people are thinking, oh, this little thing
They think
here
of it-
is racist. This little thing here is racist.
Yeah.
But they're not seeing
They don't-
what a real
yeah.
racist person
Yeah.
is.
And a real racist person or a real group of racists is really scary, especially.
Yeah.
It seems like they take the joy in the accusation of somebody that calling somebody racist, as opposed to
Well,
It gives
that's what
people
it's
power over somebody else.
But
It's
that's
carrying
where-
around a pistol, basically.
But no, but see, that's
Yeah.
that's where I go back to where virtual signaling is one of the things that
Character
people like to do
assassination.
because they want to look good. They want to look good on Facebook. Like, hey, check it out, guys! I went to this fucking Antifa rally. We're gonna fuck them conservatives and Nazis. People want to look cool and do that. They always say, "Oh, we're gonna beat up some Nazis,"
Yeah,
and all this is narcissism. They're not,
It's a witch hunt. Like, look at me. I identified 17 of my people on my friends list as racist.
Yeah.
I'm so totally helping
Or
everybody
here's
else
my
out.
image of like, hey, let's look at this female did this and blah blah. We should be striving for stuff like this. I'm like, that's cool, well and good. But it's like, dude, the way you're presented, it just sounds like really like a threat in a way.
Yeah, and that's where I go back to saying it's just like what a waste of energy it is to even do this.
And it's funny because like it's a waste of energy to troll, and it's a waste of energy. Like, and it's funny too because it's virtual signaling. It's almost like it's like a liberal troll.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really providing anything. You're just throwing fluff hot air in the air.
I think,
and no one really cares because you're not doing anything about it.
but I think
Most of them
I'm
do,
hoping
actually.
though. I think hopefully later on, people are just going to get tired of this shit and be like, man, quit having such thin skin.
I think that's what's happening right now.
I'm going to say what I want. I'm going to stand up for it. I'm going to back up what I say.
Talking
You don't
to Allie
like it?
yesterday.
Tough. This is America. Have fun.
Pretty much.
You live your own life. I'll live mine.
Stay in your
We
lane.
may
man.
not agree,
Stay in
but
your
we're
lane.
both Americans.
Well, it's going to end in a
That's it.
fucking big ass fist fight, and then everyone's going to be like, okay, we were.
You know what's good? You know what's good? You know what helps it? You know what'll do it? If North Korea actually nukes someone or nukes us,
Oh, trust me,
Everyone-
I already went over the whole Adrian Veidt thing in my head.
everyone
It's
stops.
going to be Starship Troopers
Yeah,
all over
yeah,
again.
Everyone stops. They're like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah,
we're all
Adrian
cool now.
Veidt is exactly
The only
Yeah.
good bug is a
I
dead
was
bug.
like, oh, yes.
Anyways,
Ozymandias.
that was actually pretty.
I thought about that. I was like, okay, well,
That was,
meanwhile,
But and
in
the
North
thing
Korea-
is, given this conversation, I know there's millions and millions and millions of Americans that believe the same way.
yeah.
There are a lot of moderates
I
out
think
there.
there's more of a majority that believe
Yeah.
that what we're talking about
Yeah.
is being normal.
And
than,
yeah, I
than a
agree.
handful we
And
see.
I think with Joe Rogan, you made a good point. Is that if you're a moderate, a liberal will think you're conservative.
Yeah.
If you're a moderate, a conservative will think you're a liberal.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
it sucks.
essentially, you get
It doesn't matter.
get
And
slammed
when I
from
say,
both sides.
Yeah.
And also, what's
And
funny,
you care?
what's
And
funny
you
about
feel
that
like
is
you
you
have
can't.
to hide your opinions and this
Yeah.
and that because you don't
And-
want to be typecast as one or the other because
Well,
one of those sides will get
But
on you.
if they do want to throw me under the bus like that, at the end of the day, I just say fuck it, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I live my life as hype as I want to live it, and
Yeah.
you're gonna be here complaining and bitching and moaning about whatever the fuck that you're complaining about.
Yeah. But-
and I'm just gonna be living my life.
Yeah.
You can say whatever. Like, I don't give a fuck if someone thinks I'm a liberal or conservative.
Yeah.
I think that both sides are being really stupid right
Yeah.
now.
They are.
But it's
And-
like, what's worse is you can't be in the middle of all of it. You have to identify with one or the other.
That's why I just
But,
stay out.
yeah,
of
I
it.
know.
Choose your gang.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
not-
yeah,
you gotta be on
the team.
bloods,
But that is why I just stay out of it. I talked to Gadir about this, and I'm like, dude, like this is so dumb, dude. Like,
Yeah.
how is it like, dude? No, what was it? George Carlin said, no wonder why aliens fucking just pass us by. You
Yeah,
know,
they're
you think,
fucking
you know, like,
stupid.
like you think that like aliens exist and everything, but there's no proof because motherfuckers probably stopped by and said, I don't want any of this, I'm leaving,
Yeah.
and then they just leave.
Mhm.
These guys don't know how to fucking get along.
And I think what really perpetuates is social media.
Oh
Facebook,
yeah,
Social media.
oh yeah,
And I
because
think
it's all fucking
The
like
social
a
media
jerk-off
generation of
contest.
people that just the
Oh,
fact
yeah.
that bullying, classic bullying, is replaced. We talked about
Yeah,
this, right?
yeah,
That
yeah,
they're
yeah,
replaced
yeah.
by the social media bullying. And
There's no
being
more
a real
physical
thing.
bullying. It's all
Yeah,
social.
and this is what
There's-
the world has turned into. And so that to avoid bullying, to avoid all of that, people just say, "Oh well, I'm going to be congruent with all your values and just say what's
But the silence is the moderate people, I think. And then you have both liberals and conservative people running amok and taking everything over. It's just like I said, like Facebook. People say, "Oh, it's a good thing." It's like, no, dude. I think it's the worst thing that happened for this country.
You know what's worse about that? It's the fact that even if it's weird, like people actually lose friendships over someone's like just what you believe.
Beliefs. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
No, because I remember I'm not gonna say their names,
I
but the
know
people you're talking about, like I say, I would still be friends with them on Facebook, but I wouldn't, I always say, hey, I don't like what you're talking about, but I'm not gonna like straight block you because or burn my bridge because you just said, hey, this.
Yeah. Oh, you voted this way. That means you're not my friend anymore.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah,
no,
no,
that
that
means
happened a
nothing.
lot too. This last election, so many
Yeah.
people were like, "Well, we're not friends anymore because you voted for this person."
Yeah, I mean there's no merit in that. I'm like, dude, you guys, it's like, what kind of
That's
friends are you to
childish.
begin with? Yeah,
It is
childish.
Well,
Like, we're more friends to begin with,
everybody
I
on
guess.
Facebook is impulsive,
Yeah.
But it goes back to the whole thing about how I was saying that people like Star Wars are their own gang. People like the Star Trek are their own gang.
and Star Trek.
And I think that's what Facebook is doing. Before when there was no internet, you had your city, your community, and you got along with people, and you're like, okay, well, we had different tastes and stuff like that, but we're gonna be seeing each other. And it's like this is. But now that we have
we'll
Facebook,
get along with each other because of the fact that we have to be around each other anyway. So it's like okay, you're different on this, but on this I can agree with you.
Absolutely. With Facebook,
Kids
let
on
me
school
find
break.
all the like-minded people, and I'm just going to be friends with them, and we're going to be a super group.
And fucking circle jerk all day.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's how it is. It's just like, then you have teams, you have like,
You can always find on Facebook somebody who will support your opinion, even if you've got
You
the
can organize your
craziest,
party for a
absolutely
raid.
nuts opinion out there.
Right?
You can always find somebody who will empower you
Yeah.
to give you the idea that your absolutely crazy idea is the best idea in the world.
And that's why we have flat earthers.
That's a good point you brought because a lot of people, if you have even if it's a bad idea, if everyone's like-minded, they're going to be up on that idea so well.
Yeah.
Either way, it's like the worst idea you could think of. It's just like one of those. Man, yes,
That's
man.
how you got your bronies, too.
Yes, man. I swear to God.
Oh, man, but
That's how fans happen.
Pretty much.
that's why you have all these
Still waiting for
stand-ups and
Funko Pops to
everything.
die, but whatever.
Yeah.
What?
But anyways,
But yeah,
the
that's-
problem is social media.
The social media is a big problem. And I think the other big problem is that you have a lot of uneducated people, making wild claims, and you have a lot of children on social media that are not educated. They're part of the uneducated.
And then we have.
But there's also the other side that are educated, but they get swayed by their profession.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Part of their education is to
get these opinions instead of and then figure it out on their own, to decide on their own instead of having the teacher like, you should think this way because the world sucks.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, it's like, no, I want to, I'd rather think of it my way, and I want to take everything with a grain of salt and actually learn from, what people think. I don't want
What's funny is like, especially during this last political season, I stopped looking at traditional websites like
MSN and such, or what?
No, I don't go on MSN. But what I'm saying is that I started going on people's Facebook, posts. Like they post an article, oh, this is what's happening, this is what's happening. And I was like, this is a bit of bullshit. So I started going on Associated Press News, right?
Right.
Which is, I feel like it's one of the more unbiased places. All they do is just show you the news without any.
There's report.
They report it. They don't
That
have
is
opinion.
rare.
Yeah, but the thing, here's the hard part though, is that you read the news, you read what they have to say, and it's up to you to decipher, to disconstruct what's happening, and what's good
Form
or
your own
what.
opinion.
You have to form your own opinion.
Someone say,
Yeah.
this person sucks.
It's not a news anchor telling you what to do. And once I started going on this, I started going to all these Facebook articles, and I was like, okay, well, this sounds kind of outlandish. I'll read it. Then, the next day later, the AP will have, news on it, right? And it's completely different, dude.
Yeah.
And then it's like the articles, like, that and CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, they're all, what was it, the news entertainment?
Yeah.
And I realized, what I noticed the most?
Everybody spins it.
They spin it to their audience.
Agenda.
Their agenda. What I notice the most is when I read the AP article first, now it's just like, okay, well, I had to form my own opinion. It's kind of dry the way they presented it. I go to CNN, and all of a sudden it was just 10 times fun. You know, they made it more engaging. They had a beautiful woman to look at, and this and that. And I was just like, you're not saying the news. You're just, hey, this is news
You're
with pizza.
sensationalizing it.
Yes,
Because
sensationalizing.
I mean, I've done journalism courses and everything like that, and that is how we were taught. Everybody's like, no, you got to make this thing pop. You want to make somebody read your story. You want to make somebody see it. You want to make somebody interested in it. So
your opening lines are shocking
your
details. or
opening
whatever.
lines are shocking
Pretty much.
details. It's called the lead.
President Clinton
The
dies.
lead
there.
is essentially
Yeah.
the lead is your hook, and you need to hook. You've only got a few words to hook your reader, so they want to read the rest of the story. That is how it is treated in traditional journalism.
Yeah, but you know how that evolved or devolved into now? It's just a headline with a paragraph.
Clickbaits. Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
if
it's
you
not,
want-
they don't even report the actual thing. Just say, hey, this thing happened. This is bad.
Even on YouTube,
Paragraph.
like you'll see you'll see different clips from like CNN. It'll be like, obviously, with all the hatred for Trump and everything, it's like, oh, Trump says this, Trump says that.
Dude, actually, I was watching CNN. They literally were during the Charlottesville thing. Every single 10 minutes, they would if there was a new Trump tweet, they would actually put it up.
Yeah.
Like that would be just talking about, and then they could spend 20 minutes talking about that tweet.
Yeah.
Which is just a line.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, guys.
It's like this. It's like you can just read the tweet yourself and inform an opinion.
Yeah, but no one wants to do that. Everyone wants to defend.
Yeah.
But that's what channels are for.
What does everybody else think? So I know what to think. So I can be popular. So I can have the popular attitude and be liked.
I need to be on the right side of history,
And
guys.
to be liked in our society. The thing
This is my timeline.
Yeah, it is not so much about people having their own opinions. It is about people
Group mentality.
mentality.
Yeah.
Follow
Dude, do
the
you like
order.
the
It is
Raiders or
never-
do you like the Niners?
It's been never been
Yeah, dude.
easier
Yes.
to connect with the herd and follow the herd.
Yeah.
Never been easier.
And if
And
it's
it's also never been harder to be your own free thinker with all these media chatting away at you, telling you what you should think.
It's really hard, dude.
It's really hard
Yeah.
to
That's
have
why-
your own opinion.
That's why I tend to look at all of it, even if it's right wing and then left wing and then just normal.
Yeah.
Because I want to see both sides, honestly, because it's funny seeing how extreme some get. Like Fox is super on Trump's side, and then
Yep.
CNN gets super on
Yep.
bad side. But then if you just watch both and you kind of look at it, you're like, okay, I can kind of see what they're really trying to talk
You can
about.
try to find the truth in the middle
Yeah.
somewhere.
You get the actual news and you brush
Yeah.
off the
Yeah,
the
but the thing is, I rather see either way. I don't agree with it. I rather see all the sides regardless, because I want to see how crazy people get.
And you have a good point there, because when I switched over to AP News, I remember the first few weeks I was kind of not sad, but I was kind of disenchanted. I was just like, man, you know what, it's like they're not spinning it the way I wanted to believe it, know. And then, but at the same time, it's good though, because it's like this is real, This is what's really
It doesn't. It does not. The reality of things does not follow any sort of political belief or anything, or certain party lines.
Yeah.
This is, we've been spoon-fed, things to make it more palatable, to make it go down easier.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where our news media makes it more palatable.
Also, too, we got to consider too. I'm guilty of it as well. But a lot of people just want to see. No one really reads articles anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Data mined.
Yeah, well, no, because it's not even that. You can just look at an aggregator site or something and just see headline. And people only care about the headline, and they think they got the whole gist out of the headline. But usually the headline's pulled. It's just from
They pull a sentence or two.
Yeah, either that or when you read the headline and you say, "Oh, this is fucking crazy," and then even when it comes to science articles, "Oh my god, they found a way to use fusion or whatever," right? And then you look at it, "Oh yeah, it's this little way of doing it. We only made 1 milliamp of power, and it's going to take us 100 years before we get the full, harness of it, right?"
But they hooked you to read it, and
Yeah.
that's what it's all about.
But that's the thing, though.
That's
It's
what journalism's done.
But that's the thing, though. I looked at it. I was like, "This is not believable at all." And then I realized there's no way we can have this technology, and it's not, because I don't. Science is cool, but every time they talk about new technology, we don't get it until 10 years later, because it's like
It's like a tease,
Yeah, I'm like, don't tell me, just tell me when it's done.
Tell me when we can buy it.
Yeah, but anyways, we should probably end it already before we get these out.
I want to also add, we had this discussion on a university campus, so people thinking that you can't have that kind of discussion on a
Well,
university.
it's funny because I think the people that are in this room right here, I think they probably heard us because they were looking at us while we were talking about that shit.
No, they were just being real loud, that's all.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, no,
it's a public library.
well, who knows, man? We might have some protesters waiting for us outside. Yeah, right.
You guys are moderate, I hear. Uh-oh.
Oh no. But anyways, that was pretty much it. What was that? Only 2 hours, I think. 4,
Yeah.
3. I forget. I mean,
Bounce around a little bit.
Yeah.
All good.
Unfortunately, went political at the end, but
Yeah.
whatever. It happens.
But
All right.
do what I want.
Yeah. Well, ultimately, all that shit comes back to, or all that shit harms all the creative juices of everything in Hollywood, all the things in video games,
Yeah.
everything in comic books, everything in literature,
It does.
everything on TV. And if we just can't sit back and actually like and see what people can create, I don't think we're going to go anywhere in the future, because right now it's pretty sad considering that everything's kind of homogenized. Nothing's new, nothing's fancy, nothing's crazy.
And we
Yeah.
can't have a new Blazing Saddles because
That's what I was about to say. Mel Brooks is the guy that does it right because he pokes fun at everybody equally.
every race.
He says it like it is, and
With his jokes, it's pretty much jokes about humanity.
yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know what? Are they offensive? Yeah, maybe to some people that are super sensitive. Are they real? Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, I like the Billy Sound with the Mexicans with the badges. That shit made me laugh so hard. You don't need no stinking badges. I mean, I just love that accent. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it's like really there's no creative juices in the future if that shit happens.
Oh yeah.
People need thicker skin and need to realize that
You know-
people are different. Enjoy the
Yeah.
differences. Don't be afraid of them.
Well, it's more so than that too. I mean, he's showing what people are afraid to talk about what happened in the past. A lot of people try to pretend like stuff like that didn't happen. Like even.
You know what? I want to know that shit happened in the past.
Yeah, because you don't want to
If
fucking repeat that nonsense.
No, yeah, because if we erase history, history will repeat itself.
Yeah.
Because we want to know about it.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part.
We already tried that before. Didn't go so good.
Oh, yeah.
We want to know.
Oh, we don't know because we destroyed all the newspapers about that dude. Now we're just gonna do it again.
Now, sensationalizing, that's a different story.
It is, because it happens to anyone.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be political to be good or to be sensational. I mean, I see it all the time. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah. Like Columbus Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, guys, this is Vaporware. This is Lewis.
Yeah.
Me,
Just yeah. I'm depressed. I'm sorry.
me, Daniel. Yeah.
David. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
Romero.
And Daniel.
And-
And more.
All our future entertainment is going to be homogenized.
Yep.
Yeah. We're gonna start out with conservative news first next time.